Tonight's game is proudly presented by Pregame and Athens Regional and supported by Satisfaction Design. Fans, join us at Athens Game for the 3 stars of the game presented by 23 Designs. You can go home with a limited edition t-shirt from your favorite hot lobster. Learn more about the capabilities of 23 Design and their amazing team online at www.23design.biz. Pregame, it's 1966. People have been moving right here for one history. We're proud to have the world's inventory record. And we lead the nation in point process. It doesn't happen by. Look at you stand out. You're next tailgate. God willing to take you from the start to stand out. Lifted level, fully loaded. Need service, we bring a shot to your driveway. With 15 mobile service vans, you got your back. Don't just buy a uniform, we need to get back. We're next to you for it.
Centered open in 1968, we take pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. Extend your air systems. Satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at standfordair.com. What is it, one flush?
We'll always repay. Thunderbirds are head coached by Steve Harris. The referees for tonight's game are number 64, Kevin Rapids, and number 95, Sean DeRoe. The linesmen are number 78, Jim Blackton, and number 73, Bill Houston. Cross Nation Nation! It's time to meet your Athens your equipment manager, Micah Swift-Taylor. Your athletic trainer, Jude Ashiwaki. Your assistant coach, Kyle Christensen. And now your inactive players for today, number 7, Eric Neely. Number 21, Chris Mott. Number 76, Brandon Pickard. And number 92, Dominic Dubis. And now, the rest of your Lobsters, number 9, Jason Gallant. Number 10, Garrett Gallant. Number 17, Philip Virgili. Number 22, Hunter Alden. Number 24, Elias Thompson. Number 27, Jesse Lowell. Number 33, Carter McPhail. Number 36, Matt Garcia. Number 65, Jordan Rosenbaum. Number 74, Joe Mack. Number 91, Jack Johansson. And number 98, Michael Recco. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rock the table for tonight's starting lineup, presented by Athens. On defense, from Langley, British Columbia, Captain Fantastic, number 14, Carter Shinteri. On defense, from Fort Myers, Florida, number 4, Joey Potarski. And forward, from Moscow, Russia, number 12, Gleb Vanderpin. Ontario, number 3, Luke Rapture.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Aikens Ford Arena here in Athens, Georgia. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. Kendall Grayson with you as always. Thank you so much for tuning in as we get ready for this Saturday night matchup between these two teams, the first meeting of the season, but they will see each other 3 consecutive games. We'll be right back here next weekend. It is the home opener for the Rock Lobsters, and so the pregame festivities are still going on, but we're almost ready to go on the stream tonight. And so coming up, we will have the national anthem presented as always by American Elevator Company. Geico of Winston-Salem has the starting lineup, and it will be Boris Babick in between the pipes tonight for the Thunderbirds. James Farmer, Luke Dobles on defense, and at forward, Gus Ford, Roman Kramer, and Zach White. They will begin the game first. And so that is the starting lineup ahead of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Last night, disappointing result for the Thunderbirds as they dropped a home contest to the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Twin City will look to bounce back in tonight's game. And if they can find a win tonight, it'll be win number 2 on the season. We will pause for the national anthem and the pregame festivities, and then we'll have Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
He will always be remembered as a teammate, a fan favorite, and most of all, a remarkable human being. with the playing of our national anthem, being performed this evening by the Oconee County Elementary School Chorus. Will the team captains please report to the southeast tunnel for tonight's ceremonial performance?
All right, everyone, thanks again for tuning in as the pregame festivities continue on. A ceremonial puck drop that followed the national anthem, presented as always to us here on the broadcast by the American Elevator Company. They had the moment of silence for Orca Weisblad, who tragically passed away in the offseason right before the season was due to get going, and the first home game that they've played since that happened. And so we certainly send our thoughts and prayers out to his family and continued support from everyone around the league this season. Just a very sad story, and this is their first game here on home ice without him. A 3-0 start for this team, but all games on the road. So this is the home opener here for Athens. And again, we'll see if Twin City can bounce back after last night's loss on home ice to Blue Ridge. But it'll be Boris Babick looking to win for the second time this season. And we'll find out, as we always do, everyone together, if he can get that done. So the ceremonial puck drop continuing to the far side of the building from our broadcast vantage point, which is in the corner of Aikens Ford Arena, high atop the 200 level. And it's in the corner right now. Boris Babick, the closest player to me, and he's several feet directly in front of me out to my left. So I'm in the corner of the building, but it's a very nice view up here, and we're going to call a good game, and hopefully we call a Thunderbirds win for you. Everyone tuning in back home and wherever you may be watching and listening from. So Twin City looking to bounce back. We'll see if they can get on the board first here in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. But in last night's game, it was Gus Ford with the only goal for the Thunderbirds. And that brought him up to 4 on the season. So finally looks like we're ready to go. This is, again, the home opener for Athens, so understandably taking some time, some extra time before they get going. And we'll see what the Thunderbirds can do behind enemy lines for the first time this season. Face off at center ice. Here we go. As Gus Ford will take it for Twin City. And we're looking forward to a good matchup between these two teams. Opening face-off is won by the Thunderbirds, and tonight's game is underway. Immediately moved down the ice and played all the way down the rink on the far side of the building as the Rock Lobsters will look to work from the defensive territory. Out towards the blue, but it's not out yet. Still holding on to it. And now out towards the neutral zone. Good hit there. Half a minute gone by. Look out, though. A chance and on goal and on Babic, and he shuts it down. It's back behind him. Rolls out in front. They fake a shot, and they go to the far side circle. No shot from there just yet. They'll hold on to it here and look to play it free and on goal. And this is picked off in front of Babic by Ford. Up to Zach White. Zach White with a high flip all the way down the rink. And changes going on out towards center. So 19:03 now left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Moved out quickly. Butita plays it ahead. And there's a heavy hit applied to Ryan Glazer. Back behind the cage. Rock Lobsters look to move it out. They'll have it out towards the center ice red line. That's where the Thunderbirds will find it and flip it down the rink with Keeley. So Nate Keeley looking to play it, and this will be called at the blue line for a stoppage. It is William Lavaliere on the far side from our vantage point, but he's in between the pipes opposite of Boris Babic. So Babic versus Lavaliere, the goaltending matchup played along the red line here as the Thunderbirds look to move it ahead. Controlled by Kate Hanley. They go out to the blue line. It's picked off. They fire a quick one here, and Babic will glove it up. Well, I've been told we've had a couple of dropouts on the video, and that's affected the home team as well. So apologies there, but we have to work with what we're given here on the road, and so I think they'll get that taken care of. I know that it's certainly been noticed up here in the press box already. Hopefully everything will stabilize. All right, from the face-off, quickly driven towards the net, and this will be blocked at the top of the far side circle. Still onside, though, for the Rock Lobsters as they look to play it ahead with Case and Gallant. Now back behind the net for Don Carter for the Thunderbirds, high in the zone. And we'll see if Pastuca can find it. Goes back down in the corner for Carter, but he leaves it ahead of him for Josh Schlegers. 2 minutes gone by in the matchup here in the Pine Tree Tavern. First period, no score. Shots on net favoring the Rock Lobsters 2-0. There's a hit after the whistle, and that's going to be called. We'll see if anything else happens. But it looked like Michael Manias, who was taken down after the whistle blew. And so the Thunderbirds will go to the power play first tonight, 5-on-4 man advantage. 17:58 left to go now in the opening 20 minutes. And we'll take a look. And yes, I believe you're getting the same replays we are here in the building. And you see that hit after the whistle. And that's what drew the attention of the official. And that was a quick decision by him to penalize the Rock Lobsters after that. So we should see a face-off. I think it'll be on the right circle from Twin Cities' attacking perspective. And we'll see if Ford wins it back here on the power play. But Twin City on the power play. This is a good chance early on in this first period to take control of the period and get on the board first and see what happens next. But certainly like to play with a lead here on the road if they can do it. Immediately move down the ice, and so it's played ahead. Pastuca goes up the left wing trying to find Ford. He does. It's flipped ahead. 17:37 left to go now in period number one. Look out, a race for it, and Babic to the near side corner looking to play it, and he does. So Boris Babic helps out his teammates. Back behind the net, Zach White now trying to find it. And he will. It's up to Gus Ford. Gus Ford on the power play. Steps over the line. Across it goes. We have 1:18 remaining on the 5-on-4. We are scoreless early on in this game. Shots on net favoring the home squad 2-0. Once again, it's cleared, so it's found by Pastuca. He'll take it back behind the net and look to work from there on the power play. Pastuca off the left wing. Fires a quick pass out there through the neutral zone. Here comes Zach White. Steps around defender. He's open here. Has a chance off the backhand, and he lifts it high in the air, and it falls back down. Rock Lobsters will find it. They cross onside and they'll lose possession, but remember they're killing a penalty. And there's 45 seconds remaining on that call. To Michael Greco. Greco is the Rock Lobster that was guilty of the infraction there after the whistle. There's a takedown over the blue line just inside the Twin City offensive end. And the fans here, of course, applaud that. They like that. And so we'll see Twin City now working with only 25 seconds remaining on the opening power play of the night. Here's John Butita, the captain. Long shot, and it goes whistling wide of the goal. Down the ice again. Babick has to stay put. And it's in the corner. Farmer with a check from behind. Frees up a play down the rink, but they turn it over high in the zone. Look out, could be trouble. And nice read there on the pass by Glazer on the intercept. Moves it across to Butita. Butita flying onside with Glazer across. They go one more time. They fire one in on goal. And Laviere makes a save on it. It's bouncing down. They've killed it off. We're playing 5-on-5, but Twin City still onside. Long shot through traffic goes just wide. That one went bouncing off the end wall. Now it's out to the neutral zone, just along the red line. They'll snap it onside. The Rock Lobsters do as they fire ahead. There's a check from the pressure from Athens in the attacking areas. Carter will find Glazer. Ryan Glazer just over the red line, taken aside and away from him. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in the first period. Controlled by Don Carter. Circles around. He'll send one along to Glazer. And looking for Farmer. James Farmer plays it to center, and then some pressure out there to Joey Koltarsi. Found by Don Carter Jr. He goes ahead with it. They'll look to skate it down with Gus Ford. Nice effort by him. And to the far side corner it goes. Shinkarik was battling for Athens. Found by the Rock Lobsters. They'll move it out again. Found again, though, here by Zimmerman and the Thunderbirds. They'll circle back around with Roman Kramer. He does a little half spin there in the defensive end. And frees up a play down the rink. They missed the pass, though, to Zach White. And this will go for icing. 14:39 left to go in period number 1. And we are scoreless. Shots on goal now even at 2. And we are in our media timeout. This is the Pine Tree Tavern first period. But we'll stay with you here on the broadcast and tell you about some of the partnerships that we have this season. We will start tonight with Triple Creek Farms, family-owned and operated licensed grain dealers providing quality grain cleaning and processing for over a decade, located in Yadkinville, North Carolina. We also provide in-house grain testing and agronomy services. Our businesses help to ensure your pets get the healthiest foods possible by only working with the best farmers up and down the East Coast. So that's Triple Creek Farms here in our first chance to take a breather. And this has been a pretty quick start to the hockey game. Nothing on the board in terms of goals for either team. Unsuccessful power play for Twin City. And the Rock Lobsters, of course, now going 1-for-1 on the penalty kill. And so Twin City now, as it stands live, 1-for-16 on the power play to start the season. Defensive zone face-off on the way for the Thunderbirds and Ford. Here's Ford, ready for the face-off, has Zimmerman to his right, White to his left. And down it goes. Defensive end, 14:35 to play in the first period. They'll look to battle for it along the half wall. Ford finds it, plays it high in the zone to White. They go out to Kramer. Here comes Roman Kramer. 43 career goals in this league. He still has it. Centers in front, tried to feed Ford, and it goes wide in the corner back to him. So Kramer continues to battle along. They'll find it high in the zone to Zimmerman. Loads up, shoots a long one. Goes wide of the net of William Laviere. Just over the red line. Through center. Now back into the defensive end. And delayed offside, so this will allow Josh Schlegers to play it. He'll find Zach White cutting up the left wing. Steps onside. Off the backhand he goes. He wants Dion Demke to go race it down behind the goal. Pressure from James Farmer. Good check applied. And the Thunderbirds will steal here. They'll look to work. They go back down in the corner. Dion Demke slams on the brakes. A brief snow shower follows that. back behind the net. And eventually taken aside by Athens. Home opener tonight for the Rock Lobsters. Turnover, and Demke loads up, fires one, but it never made it to the net. So into the corner it goes. We are scoreless in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Each team with 2 shots on goal. Athens finds it. They'll flip it down the rink. They go forward and collected by Carter. Don Carter takes a heavy hit, but he stays on his skates. As the Thunderbirds now feel the pressure in the defensive zone. That's the closest area to my broadcast location on the 200 level here in the corner. They flip it down the rink and raced after by the netminder, and he fires. And here we go quickly. Overskated, though, by Garrett Milan. So as he had to pause, that allows Twin City and Cade Hanley to play it. Slammed down in the corner and look to play it ahead. Here's Butita. Butita, they've got a lane with Hanley looking to feed a pass. It lands. Here we go. Chance in front. They fire looking for a rebound, and they got it, but unable to put it home on the far side there. That was Ryan Glazer who applied the first shot opportunity. Here come the Rock Lobsters the other way, in behind Boris Babic. He looks on over the left shoulder. Good check there by Sherbakov. Out towards center, found by Butita. Good pace, good action. 12:25 to play in the opening frame. Long shot, easily dealt with. High in the air it goes, following the blocker save. But it stays in place, so we play on. Along the red line, collected and found here by Hanley. Hanley will flip this forward. And just along the center ice red line again, looked like Athens had a chance to advance. Now they've got it in front. They fire one, and this misses. That was Gleb Van Durken with the opportunity. So that goes off the glass. They look to chip it out to the neutral zone. The Thunderbirds do. And finally, they'll get it done off the backhand. And this will not go for icing, won't make it. And so William Laviere had to play it. He realized that, nearly given away. Now Zach White has it. Centers back to Ford. Fires one. What a glove save made there. It stays scoreless. William Laviere, the Montreal native, with a pretty glove save. And so that keeps us scoreless with 11:42 now left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Offensive zone face-off for Twin City will follow. Gus Ford will take it. 166 career goals in the FPHL for Ford, and of course 4 of them here already this season. From the face-off, Carter will put it down low. They look to fight for possession, the far side corner, bouncing around. They will find it from the kick plate. And now out towards center. See if racing over, Schlegers can find it. 2-on-1 the wrong way now. They chip it in front of the net. They fire it on goal, and Boris Babic makes a great save. He covers it. No further action. 11:22 left to go in the first period. Remember that one from Boris Babic. A great save, his best certainly of the night, maybe his best of this young season already. As these 2 goaltenders begin to heat up, William Laviere made a great save across the ice from the broadcast vantage point we have here just moments ago, and Boris Babic is able to provide an answer. In the face-off circle, now it's in the corner, found by Zimmerman. Looks to bring it out, but it's stopped there. Pastuca goes way across and still onside. So the Rock Lobsters on the attack, looking to strike for the first time this season on home ice. This is the home opener in game number 4. 4th game overall for Twin City, of course, dropping their home opener. And then the Thunderbirds bouncing back for a win over PD last Saturday night a week ago. 5-1 loss last night, though, against Blue Ridge. Rock Lobsters fire ahead. This is played down behind the line by Adam Zimmerman. Then eventually it's Dion Demke lifting it off the backhand. Not out of the zone, though. And then Boris Babic, an easy save from there. That puck was slowly fluttering towards the net. He gloves it up and gets a stoppage. So 10 minutes and 36 seconds left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. And for the first time here, Twin City now out shooting Athens 5-3. So 5-3 shots on net and no score. Here's Keeley looking to win a defensive zone face-off. This is off the right shoulder of Boris Babic, the netminder. This is down to the left from your view on the video. And that's the corner that I'm in tonight. Back behind the goal for Babic. He lays it there, wants his teammate Cade Hanley to play it. They snap it across the ice quickly, looking to move it out to the neutral zone. Found, though, by Athens. They look to turn it the other way along the red line. Forward they go with it. There's a shot well wide of the goal from Virgili. Philip Virgili, native of Sweden. And they re-enter. So back onside, but going back to find it is Sergei Sherbakov. Chopped out just over the Rock Lobsters logo at center ice and all the way down the rink. As the fans start to get involved here, 9:47 to play in the opening frame. Rock Lobsters in the red sweaters, primarily red sweaters tonight. Pulled back behind the net by Don Carter Jr. Into the corner, Josh Leggers. Then he uses the cage as a pick to try to make a play to the far side. And it is moved out to the neutral zone, but Twin City has lost possession. So it's regathered by Garrett Milan. 9:23 left to go in the first. Onside for Athens. They load up, fire a quick one. That was a rising shot. It hits the glass, stays onside. And then it's found by Twin City. They'll try a high flip through center ice. And collected by Don Carter Jr. He plays it ahead, takes a bit of a bump there as he crossed onside. And back the other way. They look to flip it ahead as Twin City tried to center it there. Athens finds it. The clear will not make the icing line. So we play on with 8 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the first period. Pine Tree Tavern first period. And we're due for our next media timeout momentarily. Athens finds it through center. Goes bouncing in on Babick. He will make the play off the forehand of the goal stick. Flips it ahead to Luke Dobbles. Back to center it goes. So it's back and forth here. Still scoreless in the opening period. As the Rock Lobsters charge up the near side wing. Stepping onside, a chance in front of the net here. They fire, and Babick's got the answer. Gleb Van Durken is prevented from netting his second goal of the season. So a nice save there from Babick, and that will take us to our second media timeout of this first period. And so as we continue to tell everyone about our partnerships this season, of course, you can find the logos floating along the website, but also letting you know about who we're partnering with this year. We certainly appreciate all the support from folks in the community. And as we told you earlier about Triple Creek Farms, it's now time to tell you about Yadkin Physical Therapy. Are aches, pains, or injuries keeping you from the life you love? At Yadkin Physical Therapy in Yadkinville, we're your neighbors, helping folks reclaim movement and strength. Don't let discomfort hold you back any longer. Call 336-677-1800 1800 today, or visit us to book your appointment. We return from the media timeout. Defensive zone face-off now for Twin City in this scoreless matchup so far. And it's Dion Demke to drift in to take it. He sees Gleb Van Durken across from him. It's been all 5-on-5 except for one penalty that was called earlier here in the period. Twin City 0 for 1 on the power play. But it's been pretty clean, and that was unsportsmanlike conduct to Michael Greco at 2:02 of this opening period. Well, some disagreements here in the face-off circle, so that's what's holding up the proceedings here. And finally, we're playing hockey, and we like that. Dobbles will lift it out towards center, goes away from Pastuca, then just out of the reach of Dion Demke, goes across the rink, and eventually found here off a deflection by the Rock Lobsters. They go ahead as it's in the corner. This is Daniil Vukarian circling around, found by Croucher. They fire one-timer and a save made by Babick. That was a quick one from the high slot. They'll do it again here, and they score. And it's 1-0 for Gleb Van Durken and the Rock Lobsters. They take the lead here in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. 7:54 left to go. And we see on the replay as it's taken from the bottom of the far side circle. They put it right back in the slot. I mentioned they had a play from there just moments earlier. And so they load up, trying to get on the second attempt. And that one goes in. So it's 1-0 for the home team. We'll see what the answer is from the Thunderbirds after that. But back on side quickly here for Athens. And Hunter Alden back behind the goal. They look to play catch. They circle around in the corner with Jesse Lowell. Good check applied by Nate Keeley, and Twin City will take control. They'll use a high flip to move it out towards center ice, way down the rink. That was Ryan Glazer that was moving it out of trouble. Then it goes back to the neutral zone and Nate Keeley. Back and forth, eventually fouled by Athens. 7 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the first period. And Twin City is down by a score of 1-0. Butita plays ahead. Then inside the blue line it goes. Back out to the neutral zone. Controlled by Kate Hanley. He'll power a slap shot onside. Just looking to dump it into the far side corner. And work from there. Twin City's got it. We'll see if they can tie the hockey game. Into the corner now. Far side circle. They rip it across. And looking for a deflection is Josh Schlegers. He sets it up down low. Roman Kramer trying to find it. Kramer's tied up, found by Gus Ford. There's an option in front of the net, and that was Butita standing there. He's still there as Ford looks over the rink and tries to find options. High they go to find Don Carter Jr. Indirectly right back to him. 6:33 to play in the first period, and collected and played ahead by Athens. They steal it. Butita makes a one-man change at center. Zach White's on the ice now. And back into the defensive end. Found by Carter. In the corner, takes a crunching check. Stayed strong on his feet, though. And Kramer gets it to Ford. Here goes Gus Ford. Team scoring leader early on in this season. And White throws it in front of the net. And trouble there for William Lavier as he was looking at that one. Down the rink, this should be icing, and it will be. So that one just missed the Athens netminder. And they're guilty of icing. Offensive end face-off coming up now for Twin City. Down by 1 here in the matchup. Now being outshot 6-5 with 5:59 left in the first 20 minutes. Right circle face-off for Dion Demke. So Demke draws in, looks to win this one. Back behind him is Yuri Pastuka's standing there, looking for his first goal of the year. Try to get it to him. They'll tie it up, though, and take it away, and then slid back behind. And eventually, Athens will use that room to move down the rink. They cross onside, now a delayed offside. They do call it offsides. They call this back at the line. So another quick stoppage with now 5:48 left to play in our Pine Tree Tavern first period. Final game of the weekend for the Thunderbirds. They'll be right back here next weekend, though. 7:05 the time of the start on Friday. Also 7:05 on Saturday, a week from tonight. And then Twin City back on home ice the following weekend, November 7th and 8th. And back-to-back games against Columbus. Move down the rink here from Twin City's defensive zone, and so the Thunderbirds will be called for icing. Out-of-town scoreboard report. It's Topeka leading Port Huron 1-0. Danbury's got a 1-0 lead over Indiana. And that's who Athens saw recently. Baton Rouge will play Monroe tonight. And later tonight, it'll be PD and Blue Ridge. .5:34 to play in period one. There's the face-off into the corner. It goes away from Zimmerman, though, and chipped behind the goal of Boris Babick. Looks on as Farmer takes a hit. And they'll slide it now to the near side. Twin City feeling some pressure, but they'll have some room to make the play now, and they will. Just beneath the video board that hangs over the center ice logo here at Aikens Ford Arena. Ripped back onside. Babbitt goes back. He sets it up. Halted the momentum and laid it there for Zimmerman. But then a giveaway. Athens with some pressure and overskated by Carter Shinkarik. This allows Zimmerman to find it, and he'll look to flip it ahead. He keeps it for now, though. Absorbed a check, and possession stolen away. Here comes Athens. Look out, a chance and on goal. They fire one just wide of Babick. And that one goes all the way out. Eventually play to the neutral zone with under 5 minutes to play now in the first period. But the Thunderbirds, for now, they will survive down by 1 here on the road. Into the corner he goes, and it was Van Durken who was looking for another one. He scored at 12:06, even strength goal, assisted by Croucher and also from Glukariov. So that made it 1-0. That's where things stand with 4:15 left to go in the first period. Another chance, though, for the Rock Lobsters. They'll fire just wide of the net. Finishes in the corner as they look to battle for it. Out through center. Twin City briefly had it, then it's back the wrong way. Van Durken loads up, couldn't shoot it though, as Keeley got there with his stick to apply some pressure. They find an option though, and they score 2-0. And this time it's Michael Greco, and so the home squad now has 2 in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. That time they gave it down in the corner, and Croucher went up high, and that's the second time tonight that the Rock Lobsters have exploited an open high slot area of the ice. So just beyond the hash marks there, and it's 2-0. Twin City down by 2. We're back with Dobles holding on to it in the defensive end. Out to the logo it goes. They announce the goal to Greco. And Twin City regathers. Thunderbirds fire onside. White looking for it. That took a lively hop off the glass at the bottom of the board. They fire and score with Ford. And it's 2-1. Thunderbirds cutting the lead. 3:30 to play in the first period. I mentioned that bounce in the corner, and that's what allowed it to get out to Ford eventually, and in it goes. All right, so there's the answer we were looking for. And Gus Ford has his 5th goal of the season, 167th career goal. And this is 204th game. Five-on-five we play. Face off at center ice after the Thunderbirds will get on the board for the second time this weekend and the first time tonight. There's the announcement for Gus Ford. Thunderbirds look for it. They battle along the far side. Then it's taken aside by the Rock Lobsters, given away though, and then it takes a friendly bounce for Athens. Look out, a chance, and good defensive effort there from Sergei Sherbakov. Russian defender, 6'4", 185. And so the long reach there of the stick helped him make that play, and now he is the puck carrier. Missed the pass though, it went right behind Yuri Pastuka, and he'll look for a line change. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in our opening frame. Kendall Grayson with you. Thanks for tuning in. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. Turnover, and it's in on goal, and Babbitt's got it as that was bouncing around then and eventually fired from the circle right into the midsection of Boris Babbitt. So he makes a nice save, and we have a stoppage with 2:41 left to go in our opening frame. Media timeout is the final one of this first period. And now it's time to tell you about Twin Oaks Dentistry. At Twin Oaks Dentistry, we offer gentle modern care you can trust. From routine cleanings and fillings to cosmetic makeovers, implants, and same-day crowns, our experienced caring team is here to help. Here to create a comfortable experience and a healthier, happier smile for you and your family. Schedule your appointment today at 336-600-2450 or visit us online at twinoaksdentistry.com. Well, coming up in the first intermission break, like last night, we will have a listen to the Coach Harry Show from back on Tuesday. That was live at Earl's, and this Tuesday you can catch us at Dave & Buster's at 7 o'clock. The airing of the show online is, of course, on Thursdays. We'll be live there on Tuesday. Already heard from some folks that say they will be there, and we're looking forward to it, as we do each and every Coach Harry Show. Always a great time, and I think really nice this organization does that, putting not only their head coach but their players out in front of the fans and giving them opportunities to sit down and listen every week, but also to meet everyone. And so once again, 7 o'clock at Dave & Buster's on Tuesday. But coming up at the first intermission break, we will have a listen to part 1 of that interview from earlier this week. So that's the intermission programming when we hit the break. We're 2:37 away from that now. The Thunderbirds down by a goal at 2-1. They find it in the far side corner. Now bottom of your screen, bottom left, if you're watching on the video feed. Long shot here from the point. Save made, though, by Babick. That was from the left point. And down it goes. They'll have a chance, though. They power it, and an easy blocker save made that time by Boris Babick. He was really just looking to settle things down in direct traffic there as he put it softly behind the net. So now his defensemen go to work for him, with Carter flipping it down the ring to Luke Dobles and then picked off along the red line. 2:02 left to play in the period. Thunderbirds gave up the first 2 and able to bite back with a goal from Gus Ford. Here's another chance, and that one went wide. Good opportunity from the near side post. Thunderbirds on the attack, looking to tie the game here in the first period. Roman Kramer with it. Settles it and zips it along to Zach White. Would be huge to get one here. Let's see if they can do it. It's Don Carter. Good pass. Ford, another one, and this one goes off the glass. Good look there again from Gus Ford. He scored at 16:30. And looking to do it again there. Long shot. No, it's a pass. Indirect off the boards. They go. That was Sleggers looking for Roman Kramer. Battled for by Ford. Down behind the goal line. 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Thunderbirds down 2-1. Here's Kramer. Long shot through traffic, and it finds its way into the corner. So they'll look to track it down. Rock Lobsters trying to pull it free. There's the call. We've got 1 minute left to go in the opening period tonight. Played ahead by Kate Hanley. Flips it forward off the end wall, goes off the back of the net. 47 seconds left to go in the first period. As we play on, turnover. Keeley briefly had it, bouncing. Slapped forward, blocked in front. Could be a nice break here for Twin City. They couldn't find it. And Athens is able to move it through center. Here they come, 2-on-3 as they cross. Shut down by Keeley, then rolling free and fouled by John Butita. Stepping it up and giving it along to Sergei Sherbakov. Drops it back, then nearly given away again from Athens. And the Thunderbirds will fire it down into the corner. They'll try to battle for it. Now to the top of the circle. Out through center. Just 3 seconds left. They'll have a chance, though, and taken away nicely. Good defensive effort there at the end of the period by Twin City. All right, so the Thunderbirds on the road for the first time this season here tonight in Athens, and the Rock Lobsters holding on to a 1-goal lead at 2-1. They got goals from Gleb Bandurkin and Michael Greco, and then an answer from Gus Ford for the Thunderbirds. So it's 2-1 after 1. And that'll lead us to the first intermission break. Boots, we'll go to you. What's it like to be back this season? And
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently
safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwynn Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwynn Services. One call does it all.
Being your best is hard. You gotta take care of yourself. You got your husband.
Let's put in a pool. For the kids.
For the kids. Forget the car. How about a motorcycle?
And if you own a business?
We need servers from, like, this century.
Yeah.
At a Legacy Federal Credit Union, we're committed to helping you be your best you. Whether it's with an unbeatable car loan rate, home equity line of credit, or small business help.
Who's the best?
Visit alegacy.org for our best rates.
2 pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18x18 and 12x20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS5OFF. Cotton & Crate, 2 pillows, endless possibilities.
Boots, we'll go to you. What's it like to be back this season, and you know, what you think about the games?
It's been great. You know, I had a little vacation, so it was nice to get back on the ice with the fellas. I think I had like 7 days off. I don't know, Coach, you remember?
I remember.
But no, it was
He's
good.
the newly married John Butita, so I just congratulations to him.
Long time coming.
That's the first time he hasn't listened to me. I tried to talk to him, but he didn't listen to me. But he's got a great girl, and we're all happy for them.
Yeah, it was great. But no, it was great. It's good to be back on the ice with the fellas. You know, I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to keep up the first week because I missed most of the training camp. But no, it was good. Good 2 games right off the jump here at home. So it's good to be back in the nest.
And, you know, obviously I know it's got to be important and special for you to be the captain again this season. Just quickly, you know, talk about that coming back as, you know, I know you mentioned the guys and being with them, but being a leader and someone they look up to here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Coach has given me that opportunity to be like the guy in the locker room with a couple other veteran guys. I mean, just because I wore the letter doesn't mean we don't have other guys in the locker room, you know, leading the way too. We got the Czechs, we got, you know, Whitey, we got Kramer, we got, you know, Fordo. You know, Boris even. Trying to think if I forgot any other. Schnappy. Forgot about Schnappy. So
Nobody forgets Schnappy.
So no, it's you know, it's a big responsibility, but you know, having a big core come back, it's nice to have those guys behind and helping out as well.
You know, John. You know, all summer, like John probably was at that point in his career where I think he thought it might have been his last game there last year, and he begged me all summer to bring him back, and it took me right to the very end. Finally gave in, I guess. No, we're happy to have him back. He's a big part of the team, not just on the ice, but off the ice and in the community. And that's what a good leader does. And as I said, we're very fortunate. As Boots said, we got a lot of guys that can lead. But he's the captain, and as I said, we're all happy that he did come back. And finally, I got my arm from away behind my back after he held it for so long. I finally said yes. So, but no, we're all happy that he's here.
Coach, Friday night's game, that was my first experience at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena during a game, and it was incredible for me to sit back and be a fan for a little bit and watch all the fanfare and the entrance and everything that happened. I know at the end of the night you didn't get the result you wanted. We'll talk about that later. But what an atmosphere there to get the season going on Friday.
Well, we kind of told you, for a couple of weeks here that that's what it was going to be like, and I think you even noticed Saturday after the big win how electrifying it was, and we got great fans, and that's why players like to play here. And as I said, it's always been a great atmosphere since I've come here, and the expectations are there. And as I said, it didn't surprise me that how the excitement on Friday night and even Saturday. So every time we play at home, it's always it's kind of an event, I guess you really want to call it, and people enjoy it, and I think and usually have a great experience. So. Nothing really surprised me. I know it probably surprised you a little bit of what it was really like. And I told the story, my son, when he helped me there a couple of years ago, he was behind the bench and he was like, wow, this is pretty incredible. So I guess, now that, we've been here for a couple of years, and John's been here since Moses, I guess, was here, I think. I think sometimes we just expect it, but we still, trust me, every day we come to the rink, we're grateful that we can play in front of the fans that we have here and get that experience, because you don't get it in a lot of places.
And Boots talk about that just coming out Friday night, and I don't know how many home openers now for you, but that must have been
a lot.
Old hat for you, but yeah.
Yeah, no, kind of piggybacking off Coach, it's just a great atmosphere, right? I mean, like a lot of the guys come back, strictly because of the fan base and other things too, but like we said earlier, we have a big veteran core group back here now, and it's like just stepping onto the ice in front of the fan base, it's just electrifying, and especially with the new ice we got in, the new system, that's also a plus this year. We haven't had that since I was here in one of the original years, so that's also nice. But again, the fan base is great. I mean, even if it's not a packed house, it still sounds like there's 5,000 fans in there. I mean,
the NHL just started about a week ago, and listening to a lot of those guys about opening night, a guy like Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin and those type of guys, they all get butterflies the first night, a little more than normal, just because it's exciting. And you talk about different sports and opening night, and as I said, I think everybody was pretty excited about that, and I think everybody had a great experience. I don't think we came away with the points that we wanted that night, but as I said, it was a pretty good experience.
And that's where I was going next to the game. So, you get off to a great start. You get 2 goals on the board there. You give 1 up. But, just talk us through sort of the first period, what you saw there. Power play got some good looks. Unfortunately, didn't score, but it looked like it was a good start, and probably the type of start that you expected from your group.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You were hoping for that type of, we got, Boots just mentioned we got a lot of veterans, but we got a lot of guys that are in their first year, and they're playing in their first pro hockey game, and I think sometimes it's overwhelming, and they don't. They're not quite sure what the experience is going to be like, and they think about it, and even a couple of the guys said after, well, geez, the pace was really fast, and this was different like this, and it is different. It's pro hockey, and it's not college or it's not junior, and so the experience. So I'll be honest with you, I was very happy after the first period, because as I said, the expectations. I didn't really have expectations. I just wanted us to play well and kind of get our feet wet a little bit there. And so after the first period, I was happy. As I said, we came out. I loved the power play. As I said, we had a lot of good chances. We had some other chances too. And as I said, the first period was great. And then unfortunately, we had to go in for an intermission, and then things kind of turned the other way.
And Boots, he talks about getting back in the group, talk about playing with your line mates again, and how that felt early on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing with Nate and Schnapp for a little bit. I know Schnapp was up with the Czech guys that game. But we had a couple new players on the line. It was kind of nice to switch it up a little bit, right? So I had Nate, then I had Hippo, Mania, and Glazier. Young kids that are fast, and they're going to catch on quick. I mean, Hippo's been in the league for a couple of years now, but the other two, they're fresh right out of college. So I mean, they kept right up with the pace. But like Coach said, it's a new game for them. So I mean, it was all new that first game, and then I think game 2 they kind of got their legs a little bit more. But and we got 54 more games. I mean, you just got to keep moving forward.
Coach, so good first period there. We go into the second period. Obviously, some goals in the back of your net. To me, that's where the game sort of turned. It certainly wasn't over at that point. You pushed back there in the third period also. But just take us through the second period and what happened there for you.
Well, as I told the older guys, no, I hate when I'm right, and I'm not usually right very often, especially at home, but even in the dressing room. So I told the team that I knew the emotions. A lot of things come into play, not just the game itself, but emotionally. As I said, a lot of young guys, even the older guys. The emotion happens, and that first period, and the big ceremony at the start with everybody gets introduced and everything like that. So I know emotionally we had to regroup, and also regroup of playing the game too. So I told them that they were going to come out hard, and we came out a little flatter than I was hoping for. And the one thing that we had to be is disciplined in our systems, but also emotionally. And we got a bad penalty, and they took advantage of it. I give the other team a lot of credit. When the team comes in or we go on the road and they play well, you got to tip their hat to them. And it was kind of a funny night there. The second period there, we got goals scored against us that normally we don't get against us, and we let them back in the game, but they took advantage of what we didn't do. And the best part about that whole thing was correctables, and we'll talk more as we get along here about what I saw and how I feel. But as I said, we just didn't come out very well. And those guys, they're a veteran hockey team. They got a great team. They got a lot of guys with a lot of experience there, and they, as I said, you got to give them credit. They took advantage of us and of our maybe inexperience, I guess, and emotionally. And they took it to us.
And going to the third period as well, anything different there in the third period? As I mentioned, in the second period, I think is where the game sort of turned. But you had a good push in the third, and for a second there, it was looking like maybe a comeback was in order.
Well, when you get in that situation, and as I said, I liked the first and the second, but the second was not very good. And all you can ask for is go out and play the game and try and get one goal. And if we can get one goal, then you never really know. And as I said, it got to 6-4. And as I said, the one thing I liked the most about even the third period is that we didn't give up. The guys worked hard, and were we good system-wise? Were we good defensively? No, but and I guess that's the best way to put it. We didn't play very well away from the puck. So, but again, we never gave up. And as I said, we're going to go through some growing pains with some guys. It's not. We're not as veteran as we were last year, and every day we talk about it today at practice, and tomorrow's going to be a grind-out day too. So to learn how we want to play as a group, and that's how we have to play. That team there the other night, they're run and gun, and even last year, as good as we were, we didn't like to play run and gun. It didn't go to our system. We didn't. We just didn't play that way, and we were a little different in our systems, and that's what made. Everybody has their own identity, and that's our identity was not run and gun. And so, as I said, we played right into their hands and let them get back. And unfortunately, as I said, we got to a point we even pulled the goalie. And when you get to a situation, you pull the goalie, like you're hoping that maybe something happens. A couple of years ago, there I pulled the goalie with 5 minutes left, and we ended up tying Columbus there, I think, in their building. So. Sometimes you got to have a little bit of lady luck on your side, but when you don't play as well as we did, sometimes that lady luck's not going to help you out. So unfortunately, we didn't come away with the points we wanted, but as I said, we never did quit.
And before we go on to the next game on Saturday, Boots, any more thoughts from Friday's game?
He pretty much hit it right on the head. But no, I mean. Coach said we came out pretty, guns blazing the first period, and with a younger team, you don't really know what to expect. And we came out and we were all like, okay, we got something cooking here. And then, like Coach said, we had the intermission, which kind of, the second and third period, we didn't come out as hot as first period. So, then Saturday, I thought we played pretty well. I mean, obviously we got to tweak a couple things and work from there. But again, 54 games left in the season. No panic yet.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pine Brook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples Design Championship Golf Course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
I want to stop losing sleep over this. I want to know that surgery is the right decision. I want to protect what I've built. I want a plan designed just for me. I want to know that I'm in excellent hands. I want the latest and greatest. I want to continue to grow, no matter what life throws my way.
For the best surgical care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
What are you doing, bub?
Just fixing my chair.
You should call Contract Business Solutions.
Good idea. I'll give them a call.
Proudly serving the Piedmont Triad area for over 17 years, Contract Business Solutions partners with leading manufacturers to create innovative, budget-friendly workspaces. From design and layout to delivery and installation, explore our capabilities at And welcome back live inside Aikens Ford Arena here in Athens. It's almost time for the Flow second period. Kendall Grayson with you as always, and thank you as always for taking time out of your evening to tune in to the broadcast and support the Thunderbirds tonight behind enemy lines for the first time this season. Twin City down by a goal after the opening frame. Face-off won by Gus Ford, and the middle period presented by Flow is underway. Quickly driven towards the net. They fire one in on Babbitt, and a nice save made. A quick one to begin this second period. We'll see if Twin City can find it again. Back behind the net and collected in the far side corner. 19:33 left to go in this second period. So we're just underway in the middle frame. And again, it's a 2-1 lead for Athens. It carries over from the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Gus Ford has his team leading fifth goal of the season that will score with less than 4 to play in period 1. After back-to-back goals from Athens to start the game, Glenn Van Durken got the first one at 12:06, and then 16:09 the time of the goal from Daniil Glukaryov. We've got a stoppage here with 19:07 left to go in this second period. So they will bring the face-off back to center, just outside the attacking end of the Twin City Thunderbirds. Each team has switched into the building, and so now from my vantage point, which is a similar look that you're getting there on the video, I see Twin City attacking from the very far side of the building all the way towards me here in the near side corner in this middle period. Onside again for Athens and taken away, snapped down the rink. And in on net goes just by William Laviere. And so that brings us to a halt. 18:51 left to go in the second period. As we do each and every night on the broadcast, we keep you updated with scores from around the FPHL. Topeka's got a 2-0 lead on Port Huron in the second period. PD up 1-0 on Blue Ridge in the first. And the hat tricks of Danbury have added another goal on the board, so it's now 2-0 against Indiana, Baton Rouge, and Monroe. That game set to begin momentarily at 7:05 Central Time. Back down the ice. This time it's the attacking end for the Thunderbirds. They look to tie the game here in the second period. Pastuca finds Mania. Michael Mania fires in on goal. It's blocked down in front, bouncing down, and we'll see if they can find it. They do. In front, they fire another one, and this time it goes back behind the net, and there's a tie-up for it. No full possession like the last sequence we saw. And Twin City gets it again. Demke looks to center and drop down behind the goal line. Really good heavy pressure right now from the Thunderbirds. Ryan Glazer applied a check, but down the rink the wrong way comes Athens with it now. They'll take it back behind, then eventually found by Twin City out towards the logo. 2 minutes gone by in the Flow second period, and the Thunderbirds are down by a goal at 2-1. Pastuca onside, long shot, kicked out, and a big rebound given up, and a hammer drive from the far side from Sleggers, but it was blocked. Didn't make it there. Down the rink, this should go for icing, and it will. So Don Carter finds it and tries to flip it up and give it to the linesman. Three consecutive games on the schedule here between Twin City and Athens. We'll be right back here next weekend. 7:05 on Friday, 7:05 on Saturday. Gus Ford leans over, wants to win this face-off back behind him, and it's kicked around, found by Twin City momentarily. Then an aggressive chop down the ice from Kason Gallant and Athens, but it was shut down. And back the other way it goes. Thunderbirds pull it back to center with Zach White, and it's found by Gus Ford. Here's Ford looking for another one in the game. Sharp angle drive, dealt with. And the save by Laviere. Falls down from the side of the circle. They'll battle for it. Rock Lobsters have it. Here they come through the neutral zone with some pressure from Josh Sleggers. Ontario native. They zip it around up high through traffic. It's in on Boris Babbitt. He's got it. No further play. That was a long shot that time from Michael Greco. Greco with 14 career goals entering the game. And, of course, he scored back during the Pine Tree Tavern first period. And so that is his stat line, but a long shot that he was looking for something good to happen. There was a little bit of a screen that time in front of Boris Babbitt, and he had to stay put. And he made a nice save there. So from the face-off, the Rock Lobsters will chuck it down the ice, back behind the net, found and played ahead by Cade Hanley. And back across it goes. They'll battle for it high in the defensive territory of the Thunderbirds. Found by Athens and Jesse Lowell. Now it's Nate Keeley's turn to play the puck. Back behind the net it stays. Boris Babbitt, he's crouching. He peers over the left shoulder, then he switches to the right as the play is that way, as the Thunderbirds and his teammates in front of him look to carry it down the ice. They move it ahead, picked up off the logo, sliding down to one knee to make the play with Hanley given up, and here come the Rock Lobsters in on goal. They fire one, save made, the rebound goes wide, and it's back behind the net. There's a four-man and about to be a five-man scrum for it. Three white sweaters down there working hard, and the puck was not moving, and so they will call this back and stop the action. Shots on goal favoring the Rock Lobsters 14-9. And Twin City still down by that goal of a 2-1 margin. Well, in a couple of weekends on November 7th and November 8th, we hope to see you again at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Tickets to all home games may be purchased online at WSFairgrounds.com, also through Ticketmaster, or you can dial up the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena box office during box office hours at 336-727-2236. From the face-off, kept onside by the Rock Lobsters. They'll move it down behind the net as they look to go back up by two again. We'll see if Twin City can find it. From the side of the circle, no play on it yet. It's then chopped away to the far side corner. That's from my vantage point. You see at the top of your screen if you're watching on the video stream as well. As they battle, Twin City finds it. They lead a play up to Mania. Mania tried to get around the defender, and then he's run into with Demke involved as well, but after all of that, the Rock Lobsters find it, and they bring it down the rink. Top of the circle, shot on the way, and it goes screaming wide of the goal. Big rebound, huge, all the way out to a 2-on-1. Kramer back to White, he's open, shoots it off the glass. Zach White was wide open in front of the goal, and off the glass it goes. The Thunderbirds attempt to tie the game here in the second period. What a chance there. 15-13 left to go in this flow second period. Here comes Athens, one-timer shut down by Boris Babic. It stays in play as he was unable to cover it. He certainly, main focus there was just to keep it out of the net. He couldn't control it more than that, just to move it away any way possible into the corner. And so after he accomplished that, things will settle down with each side making changes. Butita, the captain's out there on the ice now, but it's controlled ahead by the Rock Lobsters. Gara Milan batted down. Then it goes to Kason Gallant. They try to get it back to him, and a one-timer, no, they fan on it. They couldn't get that shot to go towards Boris Babic. So into the corner. Athens still with it, rolling in front of the net, now high in the zone. Jordan Rosenbaum shooting, rebound, they score! It's a long shot from Jordan Rosenbaum, and there on the doorstep to slam in the rebound is Kason Gallant. 40 career goals entering tonight's game, and that scoring play will put Athens ahead by 2 once more. It's 3-1 with 14:28 left to go in the flow second period. You see on the replay here in the building, it looked like Babic had an opportunity maybe to squeeze it with the glove, but there was traffic in front and a stick that was horizontal. And so that proved to be troublesome. Face off at center following the third scoring play of the night for Athens here in the Rock Lobsters home opener. They'll try to play over the red line. Now they've got a couple of hits each way. Twin City wants to advance down the rink with it. It goes the other way, though, and Athens back on side again. They'll drop it off and fire one wide of the net. This goes off the end wall, back behind the goal. And another shot through traffic. This time Babic is able to reach way up high and glove it. And so they signal for our media timeout here on the broadcast. We are in the second period. And we will tell you about another great partner of ours, Jennifer Sapp Realty, back again this season. Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate around Winston-Salem and the Triad? Meet Jennifer Sapp, your trusted local realtor. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jennifer specializes in everything from historic homes and remodels to investment properties, college town housing, and short sales. She's known for honesty and integrity, making the process as stress-free as possible. Ready for your next move? Call 336-782-3148. Jennifer Sapp Realty. So this brings us to a break here with this media timeout in the second period, but it's another goal for the Rock Lobsters. They go back up by 2. It was a one-goal spread after Gus Ford scored at 16:30 of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. But since then, the scoring play from the Rock Lobsters. 5:30 the time of the goal for Kason Gallant. I mentioned the long shot from Jordan Rosenbaum, and he's got the primary assist on the goal. They give the secondary assist to Joe Mack. Games from around the league, and the scores remain the same on the out-of-town scoreboard report. However, Baton Rouge and Monroe, they are now underway. And so that's a new update for you, and it's Baton Rouge with a 1-0 lead early on in that matchup. Following the media timeout, offensive end face-off for Athens goes down in the corner. We'll see if the Thunderbirds can find it with Kate Hanley. Good crowd on hand, creating a tough road environment for this team to play in tonight. We'll be right back here again next weekend. And it's taken away in the corner. Good job there from Keeley. Keeley looks up the ice, sees a friend to pass to in Ryan Glazer. They move it ahead. Now they'll have to find it in the near side corner. It's swatted down and out to center, just along the red line. Shots on goal, favoring Athens now 16-9. Onside for Twin City, a chance. Butita waiting and gives it high in the zone of Farmer. James Farmer goes way across the ice. Sergei Sherbakov loads up, shoots one, and it dribbles wide of the net from a deflection. Off the side, from the side of the circle, off the boards, it's fouled by the Rock Lobsters, and they look to go ahead with it. Philip Virgili. It was launched high in the air, and it falls back down, so they battle for it in front of the scores table. And way down the rink it goes. That's to our right on the video stream, and really my far side as I'm in the corner of the facility where the Thunderbirds attack their closest attacking zone, and nothing given there from the official. Twin City had a player go down. I thought for sure they were headed to the power play. In from center, a high flip off the backhand. It'll stay in play. We'll see if Michael Mania can track it down. Here's Mania in the corner. Away from him up top. Farmer fakes a shot, loads up. James Farmer with it, and he fires, and it's blocked. And then gloved up and covered by the netminder, William Laviere. So we have 2:20 until we hit the official halfway point in regulation time in the game. And from the faceoff, Dion Demke tried to go forward with it. It's controlled by Michael Mania, who went down, out to center to Farmer. Farmer, as he's in a one-on-one, or he was, battle with Gleb Benderkin. So Athens will control from the defensive zone. They have room to work, and they'll squeeze one out to center, and away they go with Jordan Rosenbaum. And it's collected by Twin City, and Luke Dobles trying to find it here with under 12 minutes to play in the second period. 3-1 the lead for Athens. They're looking to add to it now as they set up in the offensive end. They fire one, shot block, and that one hit the lower body of, I think, Dobles. It goes all the way through center and eventually back into the defensive end of Athens, and they'll play it there. Now it's Matt Garcia. Through the neutral zone again. They step onside with it. There's Zach White high in the zone trying to take it away. They go to the near side. Garcia has it again, and instead of the shot, as the shooting lane's filled up, he just flips it softly back behind the goal line. Thunderbirds look to get it out, but they can't. Long shot. This time it's dealt with by Boris Babic, and it brings us to a stoppage with 11:11 left to go in our second period. Well, this game has been played almost exclusively 5-on-5. I mentioned earlier the one penalty that was called pretty early on in the hockey game was at 2:02, unsportsmanlike conduct from Michael Greco as he upended a Thunderbirds player after the whistle. That's the only penalty we have so far to tell you about. It's been pretty clean otherwise. Out to center from the faceoff. Collected and controlled by the Rock Lobsters. They go forward with it. Goes away from Carter. Picked up though by Roman Kramer. Here's Kramer. Powers his way through center. Steps onside. Has an option to feed to Zach White. Got it to him. He tried to return the favor back to Kramer behind the goal line. It's collected again. Stolen away by Athens. Rock Lobsters towards the goal. Boris Babic sensing trouble. He'll fall on it and melt it down. So that takes us to a stoppage. Officially shots on goal in the first period at 10-6. And they show to us now as 6-3 in this flow second period. And so that gives us a total of 16-9. Well, Athens is the top team in the division entering tonight's game. They collected a 4-3 road win against PD last night. And they are undefeated early on at 3-0, trying to go to 4-0. We're back with the Thunderbirds firing in from the neutral zone. Now with some Ryan Glazer. John Butita looking to apply a check. And collected by Athens. They'll step onside and try to pull it out in front of the goal that time. The big frame of the defender, Sergei Sherbakov, got back, though, for the Thunderbirds to block the advance, and now they look to move it quickly to center, possibly a 2-on-1. I think it would have been if Glazer had caught up to it. It's stolen away, though, by Keeley. He's got Glazer open in front of the net. They'll find it, and still, Keeley couldn't play. He was upended. A chance down low from White, and he just squeezed it wide of the net as Zach White went breaking towards the front of the goal. Two number 9s collide there with Gallant and Sherbakov out to center, found by Twin City briefly. Back down though, it crossed over the halfway point in regulation. 9:47 now left to go in this middle period. The Flow second period. Here comes a break from the Rock Lobsters. They fire, big rebound given up. They're still trying to search for it and find it. Jesse Lowell took the shot and eventually controlled by Twin City. There's a penalty as Ford goes down, and the Thunderbirds will go to the power play. Well, I mentioned it had been a while, all the way back to 2:02 of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. And with 9:29 left to go in the Flow second period, we've got a penalty called and a 5-on-4 coming up. Now the Thunderbirds power play entering the weekend with 1 goal, or entering tonight with 1 goal after they failed to score on the power play last weekend in the opening weekend, but they got the job done with a goal on the power play last night. They've got 1 so far on the year, 1 for 15 entering tonight's game. And they'll take a break here for the media timeout as we anticipate this crucial power play at this point of the game. The way this game's been so far, you don't know how many of these opportunities you'll get. You know, sometimes you see 7, 8, 9 power plays for each team, or maybe one team gets 5, another team gets 8 or 9, and this has just not been that type of a game. This has been, I think, more of a low-scoring, have-to-earn-it, you know, playoff style of a game that we've had tonight that you'll see, you know, later on in the postseason, that it's a little bit more controlled. You have to really work for the space that's out there. And so I think that's what we're seeing, and we'll see if Twin City can strike here on the power play. It would be a massive goal in this game if they can find it to make it 3-2. But right now it is a 2-goal game at 3-1 as they put the penalty on the board to Hunter Alden, Washington native, and 5'9", 174. So he is in the penalty box as we await this upcoming face-off out in front of our broadcast location to your left. If you're watching on the stream, tripping is the official call at 10:31 of the Flow second period. All right, here we go. Power play looming. Gus Ford, Nate Keeley, Zach White, Yuri Pestuka, and Roman Kramer on the ice now. They had a false start on the face-off, so they want to hold the clock for 2 seconds. The referee will signal that and let the folks downstairs, the scores table, know. And they, of course, will either hold it for 2 or they'll put 2 back on the board, whichever is easier and quicker to do. I think they prefer to put it back on the board, but there we go, 9:29. All right, so they've got that here in-house, and now the power play is underway. Taken, though, immediately by Athens, and they'll move it out to the neutral zone. So it goes way down the rink. Roman Kramer skating it down, turnover, and the Rock Lobsters will find it here in the offensive end, shorthanded. 9 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the Flow second period. Power play well underway now for the Thunderbirds with 1:35 left on the sequence. They stretch it out, could be a 3-on-3 through center. Found and controlled by Ford. He keeps it for himself, had to kick it forward, and back behind the goal. Nearly taken away by Keeley after Athens found it, but they were able to clear down the rink. 8:44 to play in the second period. 1:13 remaining on the power play. Just out of the reach of Gus Ford as they missed him on the pass, and it's found by Pestuka. And he moves it slowly across, collected by Keeley. So Pestuka goes over the boards. We'll see if there's any more changes here quickly on the power play as Twin City drops it back onside. Kramer's still out there. He's now the puck carrier. Finds Zach White in the corner. 5-on-4 attack underway. James Farmer across the ice. They go to find Ford. He's still out there on the power play. Loads up, fires one, block in front as it never made it to the netminder. Still onside. Another chance, and this one goes up and out of play off the deflection. So the Rock Lobsters, for now, they will survive with 8:08 left to go in this middle period. Shots on net favoring the home team, 18-11. 3-1 the score. And 39 seconds now left on this Twin City power play. Well, the penalty kill for the Rock Lobsters entering tonight's game third best in the FPHL at 29.2%. And they'll take the face-off here, possession of the puck from the face-off, and move it down the ice. They were 13 of 14 entering tonight's game. One last push on the power play. Here's Mania. He will stay with it. Goes to the side of the circle, now high in the zone. Still onside. They'll wait. Chop it forward. And off the deflection, the clear is successful. Just 6 seconds now left for Farmer to regroup at center. As they try to pass it to an open Denke, he'll have to chase after it, but that's it. We play 5-on-5 again with 7:28 left to go in the second period. And they stop play here as the puck was towards the near side corner. Face-off comes outside of the zone. And there it goes, and back into the defensive end for Kate Hanley, Montana native. Athens takes control. They'll slide one slowly back behind the net of Boris Babik. That one gave him no trouble as he just watched and collected. And this one he has to deal with as Twin City had it, but then it popped just to the side of the net and eventually was drifting in front of the goal. So Babik had to launch onto that one and deal with it. So he melts it down, brings us to another stoppage in the matchup. Out-of-town scoreboard report, Topeka leading Port Huron 2-0. PD with a 2-0 lead over Blue Ridge. 2-0 also the lead for Danbury over Indiana. And Monroe is on the board. It's now 1-1 in the first period in their matchup with Baton Rouge. Here in Athens, the Rock Lobsters will hold on to it back behind the cage in the defensive end. Jordan Rosenblum. Eventually they'll move it to center. Van Durken missed the pass. This allows Twin City to get to it. Zach White goes back behind him to Kramer. Roman Kramer couldn't fire, though. Swiped away from him at the last second by Daniil Glukaryov. Here they come in from center. Look out, a chance and on goal. And shut down there by Boris Babik as a couple of number threes got involved with Kate Hanley in front of the net, looking to shut down the advance from Luke Croucher. And this hits a Rock Lobster on the change, and Twin City calling for too many men. I think they had a case there. Chance and on goal, and they power wide of Boris Babik off the play that hit the skater who was the player out in front that was changing, hit him right in a skate. So after all of that, it's the Thunderbirds to move it onside and play ahead with Gus Ford. Down the rink it goes, inside the line, and stolen away. It's the captain, John Butita, looking to make a play on it into the corner. Far side now, Keeley. Butita, they fire a one-timer and a save made by William Laviere as it went off his upper body. I think it actually got him in the mask, and then it goes out of play. Offensive zone face-off for Twin City. And one away by Athens. I mentioned the Rock Lobsters leading the Continental Division. This rolls down the ice and on Babik, and he will choose to play it. They got 9 points in the standings, looking for points 10, 11, and 12. 3 in the FPHL for a regulation win. And of course, Twin City chasing points 4, 5, and 6. They've got 3 after dropping to 1 and 2 last night. Back behind the net of Boris Babik with 5:15 remaining in the Flow's second period. It's high in the zone, nearly stolen away out to center. Glazer was that close to a one-on-one. All right, it's onside for the Rock Lobsters after that play. There's a collision. And a wrestling match on the ice. Everyone rises. The play stops as they'll look to pull these two away from each other. Dobles involved for Twin City. And there'll be penalties levied. Looked like that was Carter Shinkarik for Athens, and that is the player they lead to the box. And Dobles is standing by the bench. If that's the only penalty, it would be a power play. But now exiting that area is Lowell, but I think it's just the one penalty so far. We see on the replay here. Great to have replay to aid us, and it was Dobles that was sort of held on the ice, and then they stood up and tied up with each other. Gloves not off. The rink crew taking this time to shovel some snow and keep it clean out there. Disapproval from the fans here in Athens. And now they do bring Dobles back across the ice, and the jeers turn to cheers. So this will take some time to get sorted. All right, so now ready to go again. They've just put 2-minute minors on the board beside each number. And so this leads to even strength 4-on-4. Quickly driven towards the net. Boris Babbitt was looking for it, of course, as the goaltender, and he saw an initial drive towards him, and then looked like maybe it stunned him, but it actually hit in front of him, and he wasn't sure where it was. That one stopped dead in its tracks, maybe 3 feet out in front of his net, and then slowly started to pull back into his position there in the blue paint, and so he just got on top of it and settled things down. They announce the penalties now as we play this 4-on-4 sequence. Even strength, though, still no icing allowed, and Athens will control inside the line. They called holding, by the way, each way at 15-13. There's a bit of a bump and a collision. Thunderbirds see this one go way almost out to the neutral zone, went all the way out to the blue line, as that looked like a harmless play that Athens was just looking to put in front of the net, and then it made its way out to center nearly, and now it is in the neutral zone. We have 4:08 left to go in this Flow second period. Kendall Grayson with you tonight. Behind enemy lines, the Thunderbirds take on the Rock Lobsters in Athens' home opener this evening. And they enter the zone. Could be a 3-on-1. Look out. Trouble brewing here. It bounces around, and this will stay out of the back of the net, at least for now, on that rush. As Joe Mack was the trailer, he was the one that was possessing it. 4-on-4 is not something I think you spend a lot of time in practice with for each team. And now it won't be 4-on-4 as Carter is going to get called for a penalty here. I was just about to say that's really sometimes you see those types of breakdowns and rushes up and down the ice with mistakes being made with the 4-on-4 sequence. So Don Carter will be whistled, and this is going to lead to a 4-on-3 with 3:28 remaining in the Flow second period. Remember a few minutes ago I spoke, there was only a couple penalties and never knew what you would get, but it didn't feel like there would be a lot of opportunities on the power play, and that's changed a bit. And and rolling in on Babic here quickly from the face-off. As they will announce the penalty to Don Carter Jr. And we're back with the Rock Lobsters working on a 4-on-3 style of a power play. So it's a Bobo's penalty kill for Twin City. Athens holding on to it, top of the near side circle. They'll slide it across. They go circle to circle. Near side again, a one-timer that goes off the glass and will stay onside for now. 2 players out of the box, 1 each way. Now it's a conventional 5-on-4 power play for Athens. They load up, fire one, and Boris Babic, desperation, diving to get a piece of that one, and at least enough of it to keep it out of the back of the goal. Still onside, though, for Athens on the power play. They lead it 3-1 with 2.5 left to play in the second period. Back it goes, and it was misplayed, but nearly cost the Rock Lobsters out to the neutral zone. They throw it in front of the net here. Babic's got it. He didn't like that extra shove. And now we got problems back behind the net. Luke Dobles came to the aid of Boris Babic after he did not like that extra chop that was made from the surge towards him. And so far, no gloves have come off. The 2 linesmen doing the best they can to separate everyone. We have 2:24 left to go. In this Flow second period. And so the Thunderbirds will have at least 1 player in the box. Athens also. Well, this game begins to now slow down. But Twin City's just down by 2 at 3-1. We'll see if they can find one perhaps late in this period, although now the strength on the ice after those penalties as we reset looks to be 5-on-3. Twin City's not happy about that. I just noticed that head coach Steve Harrison went all the way to the front of the bench and was making a bit of noise, and you could hear him from up here, certainly looking for an explanation from the officiating crew. I was counting the strength on the ice, and I think they're calling a player over. They are. It's going to be 5-on-4. And each team is making a change. Pastuca's out there. You see that now on your screen. And so we got 5-on-4 hockey. Although on the penalties, we still have 57 seconds showing and 2 minutes showing. And now they just have the 57 seconds back up. And so it's the Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill still going on here after that wrestling match, and a little bit more than that. Stayed on their feet actually that time. We had the holding penalties and then that disturbance back behind Boris Babic. Athens on the attack on the power play. They'll move it around the zone, and they couldn't get the pass to land there in the slot. Nearly moved out. Still onside though for the Rock Lobsters here on home ice, working with a 2-goal advantage. Top of the circle, near side, and no shot. They'll wait. Virgili now down low. They actually try to swing that one up high, and it was blocked before it got to Shinkarik. Now he has it. Carter Shinkarik swings the pass over. They'll hold on to it. One-timer shut down by Babic. No rebound given up. 1:42 remaining in the second period. Thunderbirds down by 2 with 14 seconds remaining on the penalty to Don Carter Jr. Well, coming up in the second intermission break, if everything goes according to plan, we will have a listen to part 2 of the Coach Harry show and that conversation with him from earlier this week at Earl's. We will be back for the Coach Harry show at 7 o'clock on Tuesday at Dave & Buster's. And, of course, you can find the replay every Thursday on our YouTube channel and TwinCityThunderbirds.com. From the face-off, controlled by Athens. They'll swing it down low in the corner, just 5 seconds left. You hear the bang of the goal stick, and nice save there made by Babic. Pad save out of the box is Don Carter. 1:25 now left to go in the period. It is a successful Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill. They look to swing it out to center. Back onside there for Athens. A power one in front of the net. And Babic deals with that one accordingly. They swing it across the ring now. Zach White racing after it, trying to get it back, and it goes, I believe, up and out of play here from a deflection with 66 seconds left in the middle period, the Flow's second period. From the face-off, they'll drive it towards the goal there, and Babbing made another pad save. We're now under 1 minute left to play in the Flow second period. Out towards center, nearly stripped away by White. Farmer's trying to take it back for the Thunderbirds. Roman Kramer and defender Adam Zimmerman waiting patiently in front of the goal. Now Zimmerman goes to play it. 40 seconds remaining in the second period. Still not out of the zone though. Farmer now turns, looks for an option up the rink. From the forehand, he flips it along. Gus Ford lets it go in front of him. And just along the logo from the neutral zone, back onside. This time the Thunderbirds will not have it. Now they look to steal with Roman Kramer late here in the period. And here's White, turns, spins it towards the net, nearly redirected in by a rock lobster in front of the cage there, Jack Johannesson. That was going to be dangerous. 8 seconds left to go in the period. Still some time to work. They swing it up high. Farmer holding on to it. Now it's Nate Keeley. In front they go looking for a tip, and it goes wide. That's it for the second period. Zach White was standing in front of the goal. Nate Keeley tried to get it to him, but it will be a 2-goal deficit as we go to this second intermission break. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been a good one. We'll see what Twin City has in terms of a comeback and offense on the way in the Culver's third period. Second intermission break with Twin City down 3-1.
Or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We've developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
I want to stop losing sleep over this. I want to know that surgery is the right decision. I want to protect what I've built. I want a plan designed just for me. I want to know that I'm in excellent hands. I want the latest and greatest. I want to continue to grow, no matter what life throws my way.
For the best surgical care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
What are you doing, bub?
Just fixing my chair.
You should call Contract Business Solutions.
Good idea. I'll give them a call.
Proudly serving the Piedmont Triad area for over 17 years, Contract Business Solutions partners with leading manufacturers to create innovative, budget-friendly workspaces. From design and layout to delivery and installation, explore our capabilities at cbsworkspaces.com.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
So, Coach, let's now go to the game on Saturday night. That was my first Saturday night game, obviously, after the Friday night game. But it seemed like your team overall was, played a little better, but then also got the result that you were looking for.
I watched some tape of the game and the night before, and I don't want to say depressed. I just think everybody was down after Friday night because I think the expectations were there, and we didn't get the results. And so I regrouped on Saturday, and I always look at it like, doesn't matter what happens on Friday night, the sun's going to come up the next day on my world, and you make the best of what you're going to have. And I looked at some film of the goals that we had scored for and against, and I was really encouraged. I told the boys that was basically the meeting we lost that game because basically we handed it to them and they took advantage of our mistakes. And so if we're going to play that way, then it's going to be a long season. So I was really encouraged. Like, if they were that much better than us and we can't compete, then that's one thing. But I watched the game, the tape, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, boy, we gave them this, we gave them that, and then they took advantage of it. So I was really encouraged going into Saturday, and I told the guys that, we just got to go out and when everything is correctable, that's a good sign. When you're just not as good as other teams, then you're in trouble. And I feel we're very competitive with the team, and they came in with a lot of fanfare. If you look at if you went to a lot of people and asked them where they think this PD team and Monroe are going to end up, they think they're going to be 1-2, and so those are the types of teams that you really want to evaluate yourself and see where you are as a group. And I was tickled pink after Friday and watching the tape that I thought Saturday, I think if we come out and play our game, we're going to be in good shape. And the boys responded. I give them a lot of credit. I told them after the game I'm proud of them. I think a lot of people thought we were going to maybe stand in the corner and watch them play, and we didn't do that. And we stood up to them. There was a lot of scrums there. As I said, I think we were more physical, not so much in the fighting game, but just in the scrums and different things like that. So I thought it was a complete game. We gave a couple goals up, but those things are going to happen. But again, we responded after it, and I was really happy with the way the game went.
So you had the response from game one into game two, but there was also that in-game response because you're all of a sudden you're down in the start of the first period there in the second game, and I'm sure that wasn't easy following the result on Friday night. But I think that speaks to exactly the things you're talking about and what your team was able to accomplish. To turn that around and fight through the whole game and see a better result on Saturday.
Well, they scored that second goal, and a couple of the older guys on the bench were like, just relax and stick to what we want to do. And that's kind of been our motto since I've been here is we don't change and stick to what we want to do to accomplish where we want to get to. So as I said, I think the older guys kind of set the tempo and just let's just relax and keep playing. And we got a couple big goals there and to make the lead, to take the lead there. So as I said, just the response was great, and that's what you got to look for with a team.
And Boots, talk about that veteran presence that he just mentioned. He's got older guys on the roster. You're one of them that you've been through it before. just talk about that and the other leaders on the team. When you are going through something difficult like that, to be able to respond and get the better result on Saturday, which.
Yeah. I mean, it's really nice to have like a couple of vets that have been playing for coach and they've been here for a bit. So it is nice when if a goal does come up, our bench isn't in panic mode, right? They're just be calm, be patient, plenty of time to get it back. So it is nice that you have that support from the older group of guys, because it would be tough if you only have like one or two guys trying to like lead the ship. So it is nice to have a core back, and like Coach said, it's like one step at a time, and having these vets here it's very helpful.
And even the goals that we gave up, we made mistakes that I think eventually that we won't be making those situations, in the near future. So it was just. Again, I think everybody thought, well, geez, we're playing well and we're getting chances. And I think Whitey had 2 breakaways. Kramer was all alone in front of the net. And so we had some great chances. I think somebody to my right here, I think he had 1 breakaway or 2.
I can't remember. I lost count.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 2 breakaways. I joked with him. He was on vacation near the ocean. I said he couldn't have scored it in the ocean if he was standing on the dock. But we had some great chances, so it wasn't like they were all over us. And as I said, I think the response from everybody and the calm bench was pretty good. And I try to keep as calm as I can too. And as I said, we didn't get out of our rhythm.
And we mentioned some of the guys that were really strong offensively. Obviously, Gus has a big weekend. But I want to talk about your goaltender too, especially in that second game. I thought Morris was really good, and it made a difference. I know goaltending, everyone always wants to talk about it. That's the most important position in all of sports, and yours was pretty good on Saturday night.
Well, yeah, I think Boris had 2 good games. I think Friday night he might have wanted a couple back maybe that he might have normally had. But again, I can't blame him on them. We didn't really help him either in the second period. So. But he made some big saves Friday night and then Saturday and that's what we expect. I've been very fortunate since I've been here that Mario was here and then Boris and as I said we've had some great goaltending. So the expectations for Boris is right where it's at, and he stood tall the other night, and I thought he played very well, and he made the saves when we needed them, and if something did break down, he made some really good saves, and they had a couple good chances, and as I said, he took charge, and that's what we kind of expect out of Boris, and he delivered for us.
And Coach, I also wanted to ask, you mentioned PD, quality of the opponent. I mentioned that on the broadcast too. I felt that you had to go away from that weekend. I know you wanted to win on Friday night, but that's a really good team, and I think that your team was able to show that they can play with again who's expected to be really good in this division.
Well, the one thing, and I think the fans are the ones that are benefiting from it, is that there's a lot of good teams in our division, and a lot of good teams in the league, and so and that's early on in the season. You as I said earlier in the show here. You try to evaluate where you're at, and do we need to improve here, or do we need to improve there, and that's what you do all the time. And so, the team came in the other night and with great expectations against us, and I thought we stood tall. So I feel really good about our group so far, and they had already played a couple games ahead of us, and so that sometimes, especially with the younger group. I only see us getting better. So, I really, I enjoyed watching them and the way we're starting to grow a little bit. I watched practice today, and just the demeanor on the guys. I think they're starting to feel a little more comfortable. And pro hockey, unfortunately, today I let a guy go, and it's a little unsettling for some guys when all of a sudden, we're into week 1 or week 2, and some guys aren't here anymore, and. That keeps the young guys, I think, sometimes a little on edge, but those are the learning things that we have to go through here in the next hopefully very quickly, but it happens all the time. So, as I said, the response was great, and I was really happy.
Boots, I just wanted to ask you a few questions about playing, and I know you talked about playing specifically here, but for you, obviously, it's been a long ride in pro hockey. You mentioned that maybe even last year was going to be that type of a thing. So, just tell everyone kind of where you are in your life and your career right now, and and playing here Twin City.
Yeah, well, yeah, last year was supposed to be my last year, but he keeps begging me to come back, so.
That story's going to go back and forth all year long of who begged who.
So, no, but yeah, I've been playing here for a couple of years now, and it's been great. Treat Winston-Salem like a second home. We just got married, and she's in the crowd right now. She doesn't want to be noticed, but she is. But, no, so it's been great here, especially like this town. I mean, I wouldn't want to play anywhere else. I think it's I can't remember, 5th or 6th year here. I lost count, but it's been great. Playing under coach, it's been awesome. For the last 3 years. But yeah, I mean, before this, I was in Menor, and that wasn't the greatest spot, but that was Cleveland. I mean, it was home. So, but then I got traded down here, and it's been great.
The one thing Boots came to this city and with his personality and that, and he bought into the city, and he's probably one of the best ambassadors we have on the team, and I hate to, pump him up too much here, but he does a great job with the community, with the fans, with the Booster Club, and just everybody that comes to our hockey games, and even when you ask him to go to a school, he's the first guy that will go to the school and things like that. So he bought into the city, and the people bought into him, and the mustache there is well known. I mean, I think if he ever shaved it off, I think we'd have to cut him. I'm not sure. I don't know what I would do if he didn't have that mustache. And I know the feeling, because one day I said I was going to shave my goatee and my mustache off, and my daughter told me there's no way she'd leave me. She would never come home. But that's his forte. But it's his personality and what he's done. And as I said, everything that people want to hang around with him is because of his personality. But he gives back. So he's a great attribute to pro hockey, and especially in Winston-Salem.
Talk about your relationship specifically, because he's got the player assistant title, and I know that that's not something you're going to take lightly.
Well, Boots really helps me in a lot of different ways, and as I said, I want him to be a player most of the time and concentrate on that. And but he helps me off the ice a great deal, and he's the one that comes into the room, and I have Forty and Whitey and even Pesty and that. But he's the guy that takes that message of what I want to do and where we want to go. And as I said, it's their team, not mine. And maybe I lead a little bit, but as I said, he's the one that brings the message to the team and tells them where we're going and how we're going to play and what we should do on the ice, off the ice. And as I said, I'm pretty fortunate to have someone like that. But how he helps me all away from the game. I could be here for hours telling you all the things that he does, and I actually tried to cut him back on because I know before I got here he was doing a lot of stuff, but I want him to play, and he's a great player for us too. So we need that presence on the ice. So as I said, just a combination of everything for him this year has been great.
Gwin Services has been serving North Carolina for over 50 years, ensuring the safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwin Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwin Services. One call does it all.
Being your best is hard. You gotta take care of yourself. You got your husband.
Let's put in a pool. For the kids.
For the kids. Forget the car. How about a motorcycle?
And if you own a business?
We need servers from, this century.
Yeah.
At Legacy Federal Credit Union, we're committed to helping you be your best you. Whether it's with an unbeatable car loan rate, home equity line of credit, or small business help.
Who's the best?
Visit alegacy.org for our best rates.
2 pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18 by 18 and 12 by 20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS 5 off. Cotton & Crate, 2 pillows, endless possibilities.
Welcome back inside Athens Ford Arena. Kendall Grayson with you on the broadcast. Thanks as always for tuning in. Second intermission break, and Twin City trailing by a pair. 3-1 the score. And the goals in this game back in the first period. Scoring play from the Rock Lobsters, and Gleb Van Durken at 12:06 of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. We go to the second goal of the night. That was Michael Greco at 16:09 of the first. And then a quick answer from Gus Ford at 16:30. So that made it a 2-1 game, even strength scoring play. And the only goal there of the middle period to make it 3-1, Kaysen Gallant, as he jumped on a loose puck in front of the net and put home the rebound from the shot from Jordan Rosenbaum at 5:30. Made it 3-1. That's where we stand now. Twin City outshot 6-10 in the first period. Outshot again 7-15 in the second period. Shots on goal are 25-13. The two teams are back. They have switched ends of the rink. And so here in the Culver's third period, just like in the Pine Tree Tavern first period, it'll be Boris Babic to my near side going way down the ice, the attacking perspective from the Thunderbirds. You'll see it up high with the white sweaters moving left to right. Lively crowd on hand to see this one. The home opener for the Rock Lobsters. Out-of-town scoreboard report. Port Huron leading Topeka now 3-2. PD with a 3-1 lead against Blue Ridge. Danbury 2-0 over Indiana. Monroe leading Baton Rouge 2-1 as we get things underway for this final frame of regulation time. Immediately played onside from the opening face-off of the period. Bouncing around as that just missed Zach White. White put himself in a good spot towards the end of the second period. Breakdown through the ice, though, and they fire one here. This one goes wide of Boris Babic on a 2-on-1 as they lifted that one along the glass. I mentioned that White was in front of the goal there right towards the end of that second period. It would have counted on the late opportunity from Twin City. 19:23 now left to play in this Culver's third period. Back behind the net. See if Twin City can hold the zone. They cannot. It's picked off and played ahead by the Rock Lobsters. They're onside once more in the game. They go off the backhand from Croucher in front. Look out, and Dobles found it. Made a nice defensive play there right between the circles. 1 minute gone by in the third. Athens back onside in the corner. They center it again. That time nothing happening. And the Thunderbirds look to steal. Right back though. Here's Gallant held up, and a penalty called on Pastuca as he was trying to impede the progress of Kaysen Gallant, and he does that. So Yuri Pastuca with 187 career penalty minutes in the FPHL entering tonight's game. He takes a seat in the box, and the Thunderbirds will go to the Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill. This is the Culver's third period. And the power play upcoming for Athens. Passes one just inside the line, and they go to work. Mack, he throws it up high in the zone. They look to move it around. They'll swap. Near side, Mack is open, loads up, fires one, blocked with a stick. It's not out of the zone, though. It's collected and played by Carter Shinkarik. Shinkarik waiting as John Butita looks to swipe it away from him. Long shot, goes wide, rebounds there. They pounce on it and power it wide. It settles down on the far side corner, top of your screen if you're watching on the video stream. Inside the line, this time it's down low, and they'll hold on to it with Mack. Back up high, inside the blue paint. Mack is open, top of the near side circle. They go back across, no shot yet. They're waiting, patient with a 2-goal advantage. As Lowell got chopped down along the hash marks, they'll move it all the way around the boards now. Nearly halfway gone by in the power play. Mack, he's open. Shinkarik's now standing to his left. He goes across instead, finds Garrett Milan. Milan, they'll zip it down low. This is Philip Virgili. Behind the goal line, broken stick from Farmer. That's a bad break. Athens will look to make good. They do. They fire and score. Well, as I mentioned, a bad break, and they were going to look to capitalize. That's what happened. Philip Virgili will score for the 6th time this season with that shot on the power play. 17:31 left to go in the Culver's third period, and Twin City on the road in their first road game of the year, now down 4-1. Well, we see it there on the replay. And the face-off that follows. All right, well, Twin City down by 3. And it's in the corner after the scoring play. They look to dig it free from the defensive zone. And it's been a frustrating weekend on the scoreboard so far for Twin City. We'll see if they can push back with purpose in this Culver's third period. Dropped onside. It's in the corner. Sleggers, he looks to run into the back of Luke Croucher. Stays onside. This is Daniil Lukaryov. Out to center. Could be a 2-on-1. Here we go. Mania has White in front of the net. Trying to get it to him, and they miss on the pass. And that would have made it 4-2 with almost 17 minutes left. They'll try it again. White shooting one up high. The rebound's there. They couldn't squeeze it. They look to center it. It's underneath the goaltender. And White's in a headlock in front of the goal now. Wrestled down to the ice. William Lavillere sensed some trouble, and he was unable to squeeze that first shot and hold on to it. He's been really good tonight. And that created an opportunity that Twin City was ready to convert on. The puck was laying there, and so we had that second surge towards him. And then they looked to clear the goal mouth with White being wrapped up, and I think that's going to be the only call here. I think the Thunderbirds will go to the power play. They will. 5-on-4 power play on the way, 16:36 to play in the third period. Twin City's down 4-1. Shots on net favoring the home team 26-16. So it's Gleb Benderkin with the penalty. Here we go. Gus Ford readies himself on this face-off. On the power play, it's down. They'll battle for it. Thunderbirds have it. White high in the zone to Pestuka. Trying to slide it over, and he does. They'll find Gus Ford. And it's down in the corner. Back to Ford, holding on to it at the side of the circle. He'll drift towards the net, into the corner, towards the corner. He'll cut back and swing a pass to Yuri Pestuka. Right back to him. They try to go across. It's batted down, and Athens will have a chance to clear here. Stepping up is Pestuka, but he's unable to block the advance, and they'll drop it down the ice. Gus Ford reloading from center on the power play. 1:25 left on it. Cuts in front, looking for a friendly bounce, and it rolls slowly back behind the goal. 1:16 left on the 5-on-4. Twin City behind enemy lines for the first time this season. They'll be back here next weekend, back-to-back road games, and hoping for a different result from what they've seen so far tonight. There's lots of time left in this game, and a power play goal here would certainly go a long way. High inside the line, stepping up as forward, wants to shoot, goes across quickly. Zach White with it, shooting it. It's blocked though. And White finds it, steps in front, and he'll throw it high in the air, and it falls down in the corner. White has it again, trying to find Keeley. Rolls away from him, and it's swiped out to the neutral zone. 40 seconds remaining on the power play. Quickly back on side from Farmer. Lays it across the ice, looking for White to play it. Then they nearly ran into each other. Puck down low, fouled by Athens and cleared. And so Boris Babic will play the puck. Although there's a trapezoid on the ice, he's able to do that legally there in the normally zone where you can't touch is a netminder. But he settles it down the rink they go. This one's way high in the air. No one knows where it is. And then it falls down to Butita. Slides it up top to Carter. Don Carter Jr. now to John Butita. Pressure to him. He's looking to win a battle. Out of the box is Van Durken, and it's 5-on-5 hockey again. Bouncing around, eventually found towards the neutral ice red line by James Farmer. Farmer cuts away, then he throws it off the backhand. They look for it in front of the scorer's table. Athens in the home opener, leading by 3. Into an open corner, found by Farmer. 4 goals in his career entering tonight's game. To Don Carter Jr. Bill skated himself. Has pressure all over him from behind, but they move it along the ice nicely to White in front to Kramer, and Roman Kramer powered that one wide of the goal. They'll try it again. In the slot, they turn, they fire. It's loose in front, found by Athens. And they'll now drift down the ice, maybe a 4-on-3 as they cross with speed open to the near side here off the backhand. Babic aggressive at the top of the goal mouth is able to make a save and keep the play moving along. 13 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in our Culver's third period. Long shot on the way, and it goes wide. Babic trying to create some chaos, bumping into Garrett Milan there at the top of the crease. Intercepted, eventually played through center. Here we go, Gus Ford, he's in. Can he fire one? He's held up, and he looked to sneak it around the pad, and he couldn't do it. William Lavalliere's had a good game, and he shows us why there as he threw the pad out there, and they just couldn't get it around him. It's the media timeout here in the Culver's third period. Twin City is down by a score of 4-1. Hungry Thunderbirds fans, nothing beats a Culver's Butterburger. Fresh, never frozen beef, seared to perfection and served on a lightly buttered, toasted bun. Stop by Culver's at 2973 Fairlawn Drive in Winston-Salem today. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. We thank Culver's for being our presenting sponsor of the third period. If you were joining us earlier in the broadcast, we had the starting lineup, as always, presented to us by Geico of Winston-Salem. And Boris Babic back in between the pipes tonight after Dyson Skinner played last night. And if you're joining us on the broadcast, or maybe you caught the replay of it, I theorized at the time that although the score was teetering on getting out of hand there at the later portions of the third period, I didn't think that Babic would come into the game, although he was serving as the backup, because they wanted to keep him fresh for tonight's game. I figured that they would go to him tonight, and so he gets the start. He's looking for his second win of the year. He was in goal when Twin City defeated PD a week ago at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena for their first victory of the year. And trying to battle and win this one, but he'll need some help out in front of him now with the Thunderbirds down 4-1 with just over 13 to play in the third. Right circle face-off from the Thunderbirds' attacking perspective. Nate Keeley looks to take it and win. It goes forward with it, and it rolls free high in the zone. Long shot that goes wide. It settles down, had a lot of steam behind it, and eventually fell down to the ice. That was from Cade Hanley. And Hanley once again is the puck carrier. He looks to for John, throwing it ahead. Keeley let it go back behind him, trying to find Butita to play it. And Athens is to it. Here they come. 12:47 left to go in the third period. They throw slowly in front of the goal, and it's covered up with ease by Boris Babic. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard report here in the FPHL this evening. Port Huron 3, Topeka 2, PD 3, and Blue Ridge 2, Danbury 2, Indiana 1. Monroe leading Baton Rouge 2-1 in the second period. Defensive end face-off collected by Twin City. Then it went off the skate of Dion Demke, found though by James Farmer, and a penalty called against Athens. They trying to get away with it, throwing the hands up, but the official saw it. And so it's going to be a 5-on-4 power play here for the Thunderbirds with 12.5 to play in the third period. You never know how these things play out, but this is again a big opportunity. And you feel like if Twin City is to find a way to make a comeback tonight, this is almost a must-score situation. You get a power play goal here, you're nearing the halfway point of the period. It's just a 2-goal contest. If you don't, it's under 10 minutes. I guess you could have 10:30 left, but it's roughly the halfway point of the period, and you're down 3. So this could really swing some momentum, could get maybe the charge going for the Thunderbirds. That's what we hope for anyway. They'll win the face-off. Pastuca glides along the ice over to Roman Kramer. He'll miss the pass back behind the goal line, but it's all right as Zach White will find it. And it goes back to Kramer here on the power play. Kramer back downstairs. He'll find Nate Keeley behind the net. Off the backhand, way high in the zone. Gus Ford is there to collect it. Then they go into the corner. Batted down. Zach White, he'll stretch out to hold it. Then it goes to Ford. Inside the line, Pastuca. They will keep it in. Then it goes to Ford and bounces off of his stick, but he's able to hold on to it. They'll wipe it around the boards once again. Kramer, side of the circle, glides it along. They bump it up high. They bump it around quickly. Gus Ford loads up, fires one through traffic, blocked, rebounds there, and it's swept all the way down the ice by Athens. Boris Babbitt comes to the near side corner, right below my broadcast location here on the 200 level, and allows his teammates to go play it now in front of him. Down the rink they go, looking to cross over the blue line. And it's Demke, has all types of hacking to the back of him, but they carry on and they fire off the back of the net. And they score. This one goes in from behind the goal line. It's a power play goal to make it 4-2. 11:20 left to play in the third period. And there we go. That's what we were talking about. A shift in momentum, striking on the power play, and I think that's going to be Gus Ford. It was difficult to see from here. We'll see if we get a replay on the stream, but I believe they just banked that one in off the back of the goaltender. William Lavillere was in position, as he has been tonight. He's been good. We're actually not going to see it looks like, but certainly would like to get another look at it. That one, they were behind the line, and I think they just snuck that one off the back of the netminder. It either hit him in maybe the back shoulder or someone standing in front of him, but the Thunderbirds banked that one in, and it's 4-2 with 11:11 left to go in this Culver's third period. So it's another goal for the power play. Power play held off the board last weekend, and now converting in back-to-back games this weekend. It is Gus Ford from Zach White and Dion Demke at 8:40 of the Culver's third period. And so you have to go all the way back to the first period, 16:30, when Ford got his first of the night. He now has a team-leading 6 goals on the year. And we're not even done with our fourth game here. So a really hot start for him. And it's a 2-goal spread with 10:47 to play. Thunderbirds back onside, back behind the line. They center in front, and this time nothing happening in front of the net. Twin City aggressive, looking to take it away. It creates a rush the wrong way down the rink. They fire in on Babbitt. He makes the save, and he covers at the top of the crease. Well, I mentioned there was the moment there at the blue line when Twin City looked to stop and get a good bounce and a good break, and it got by the Thunderbird along the blue line, and that created a 3-on-2, you could call it. Really ended up being a 2-on-1 from the hash marks in. But Boris Babbitt makes a nice save, settles things down, covers it up, keeps his team in this game. Well, we see the wave now winding its way around Aikens Ford Arena here for the home opener for Athens. Fans having a great time despite Twin City striking there on the power play. Athens back with it now as we play on. Yuri Pastuka chops it out towards the red line, batted down in front of the scorer's table, and it pops out to the logo at center ice. Found by the Rock Lobsters as we approach the halfway point in the period. And Twin City on the board on the power play, still being outshot 29-21. Good check there from Dion Demke, taken aside by Michael Mania as he looked to use his speed to burst up the wing. Josh Slegers settles it, rips it across, and it's picked off at center ice. Controlled again by Athens. We'll go forward with Gleb Van Durken. Down into the corner, Slegers goes indirectly off the boards to give a pass to Don Carter Jr. Then he's run into rudely back behind the goal line. Roman Kramer looked to slide a pass through center. He finds Gus Ford. Here we go. Ford shooting one just wide of the net. Lots of power behind that shot. This time it does not work out, as Ford has the Thunderbirds goals tonight. Power play goal most recently at 8:40 of this period. Across they go. Ford again and on goal. Shut down. Looking for another one. Trying to bank one off the netminder again. But it makes its way through the neutral zone and all the way down the ice. Nearly all the way down the ice as it was stopped by Sherbakov, the defender. Then he flips it the length of the rink. And icing is called. 9:02 left to go in this third period. This is the Culver's third period, and we told you about Culver's early on. We'll do it again. Got a sweet tooth, Thunderbirds fans. Well, Culver's fresh frozen custard is rich, creamy, and made in small batches all day, every day. Swing by Culver's at 2973 Fairlawn Drive in Winston-Salem and check out today's flavor. Culver's, welcome to delicious. 9:02 to play in this third period, and the importance of that power play goal to give this team a bit more faith that they can come back and erase the deficit that now sits at 2 and spoil the home opener of the Athens Rock Lobsters. 7:05, the time of the start tonight, and it'll be the same time next weekend. Back-to-back games on Friday and Saturday, but the Thunderbirds will return home in a couple of weeks after playing road games. And that'll be on the 7th and the 8th. Columbus River Dragons, the opponent. And we hope to see you at the home games this season. You can grab your tickets online at wsfairgrounds.com, ticketmaster.com, or by calling the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena box office at 336-727-2236. We're back following the media timeout, awaiting this face-off, the defensive zone of the Thunderbirds, off to the right of Boris Babbitt. He sees Gus Ford ready, and down it goes. They'll fight for possession along the near side. Chopped away. Sergei Sherbakov will get to it here. Run into from behind, stays strong on it though, and gave a shove himself, and it's out to Kramer. And as I was watching Roman Kramer move it down the rink, Sherbakov took a whack and thrown off the side of the goal. We got a lot going on here. So Twin City has it in the attacking area, down 4-2 with 8.5 now to play in the Culver's third period. They'll battle for it down beneath the goal line. Far side, top of your screen if you're watching on the video feed on YouTube this evening. Indirect off the end wall. There's some room down there. Up high, they'll power one well wide of the net with a slap shot from Cade Hanley. Twin City looks for it. Hanley barely keeps the zone. They throw it in front of the net. Legal play here. They fire off the backhand and it goes in behind the goal. I mentioned the legal play as it was grabbed out of midair and then put down to the ice, and then the advancement was made towards the goal. And so play continued on, but that was a really good chance for the Thunderbirds that time. 7:44 now left to go in the third period. Still a 4-2 score, and shots are still at 29-22, favoring the Rock Lobsters. Twin City reloading from center. They'll drop it into the attacking area. It's in front of the scorer's table. They look to battle for it. Found though by Athens. They load up, look to shoot. There it is, and it goes off the glass. In the near side corner. Rock Lobsters look to play it out, and they'll battle for it. Still trying to find it. Now it goes to the point. A chance. They look to drag it around Boris Babic. They do, and it goes in. Well, that's a tough break. And Athens knows now that they are closing in on an opening victory on home ice this season and their 4th consecutive to start the year. Nice patience. We see it on the replay. They just wait out the goaltender. Then they were able to move it around Babic, and it was nearly saved by Luke Dobbles. It was standing in the crease. But over the line it goes. And back to a 3-goal deficit for Twin City. Well, the Thunderbirds fell to Blue Ridge by a 5-1 final last night. They hit the road tonight. Down 5-2 in the Culver's 3rd period. Played by Josh Slaggers in the defensive end. They go across to find Dion Demke. Demke powers his way over the red line at the neutral zone. And his progress is halted. Now from behind the net. Athens took it back into the defensive territory, and they look to work from there. Up the wing on the very top part of the glass, and this one actually ended up out of play. So that hit the very top of the glass. I thought it might stay in, but it winds up into the seats below us, and we have a stoppage for a puck out of play. Down the ice it goes from the face-off, collected and played back in the defensive zone of the Rock Lobsters. Out to center, here they go. Could be another opportunity. Well, fire in front, toe save made by Babic as he was falling down, and it goes back behind the net eventually. Stayed out of the goal, that's all that matters on that rush, but very close to being another one. Controlled by Croucher, then he's bumped along the boards. Now he's back with it, steps up. Skates it freely into the corner, then he's run into by Zach White. One-timer, they score again. And with that, it's 6-2 with 5:37 remaining in the Culver's 3rd period. It's a blast of a shot from Carter Shinkarik. We see on the replay Babic falling down. Then he gets back up. He's in position. But they throw it at the top of the circle, all the way to the point, actually, as they work it around the zone. And eventually they're going to throw it opposite across as the replay cut out there. But we know what the result was. It's a goal for the home team. So it's a 6-2 score with 5:27 now left to go in the Culver's 3rd period. Carter Shinkarik from the assist. Daniil Lukaryov, and then Luke Croucher with the secondary assist on that scoring play. So there was the goal at 14:23. There was the goal before it at 12:58 from Garrett Milan. After the Thunderbirds found a scoring play on the power play goal at 8:40. Off the face-off, they'll fire one wide of the net here. They look to score in a similar fashion down behind the goal line as they did earlier. But again, that power play goal was scored. It was 4-2. And since then, a couple of back-to-back scoring plays from Athens with just over 5 minutes now left to go in this one. Well, we hope you'll join us right back here next weekend. 7:05 back-to-back games and a rematch of tonight's. And we'll look for a different result from this team. Twin City tonight is going to drop another one. This will be back-to-back games on the weekend. after winning a week ago on home ice in Winston-Salem over PD. Michael Mania run into, shaking that left hand, but he, I think, got the main job done there, and he sidestepped what was going to be a huge open ice hit. Goes down in behind the net, Farmer. Farmer up to Dobles. Across along the red line, they snap it ahead, and unable to charge down the ice with it. Here's a chance. No shot, though. They'll pull up. They don't drive it towards the net with Joe Mack. Michigan native, and then covered up on the side of the goal by Boris Babic. So we have 4 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in this Culver's third period, and that will take us to the final media timeout of tonight's game. And we will tell you about our friends at Honky Tonk Smokehouse. When you're craving that slow smoke flavor done right here in Winston-Salem, there's only one place to go, Honky Tonk Smokehouse. From tender pulled pork and fall-off-the-bone ribs to fresh house-made sides, Honky Tonk Smokehouse serves up barbecue with heart. Not a meat lover, they have delicious vegan options too. And when it's time to party, let Honky Tonk handle the catering and event planning. They'll bring the flavor right to you. Thunderbirds fans, check the back of your ticket for the $2 promotion, $2 coupon off any $10 order. That's on the back of your tickets for home games this season. And stop by 145 Jonestown Road and taste why locals can't get enough. HonkyTonkSmokehouse.com. So 4:18 remaining in this third period. And it's a 6-2 score with the Thunderbirds being outshot 32-22. Defensive zone face-off on the way. And we return from the media timeout. And so I mentioned all likelihood it's headed towards back-to-back losses on the weekend for Twin City. And the Thunderbirds with the 3 points in the standings, but not wanting to let any more slip away. And this is going to give, again, unless we see something crazy here, it'll give Athens their 12 points of the year. Thunderbirds will stay at 3, and the Rock Lobsters will stay at the top of the Continental Division standings. They will be the only undefeated team in the Continental Division, improving to 4-0. As we're back here with 4:10 left to play in our Culver's third period. Here comes Twin City with a chance. They'll power one wide. This one goes up and hits the protective netting behind the goaltender with 4:06 to play in the game. On the other side, Binghamton has not lost. Blue Ridge also does not have a loss. And that'll be it for the undefeated teams. Columbus has yet to win a game. Also, Danbury and Indiana looking to win for the first time this season. We go up and down the standings. Danbury and Indiana are playing tonight, so one of those teams has to win. As we're back. Found by Farmer in the defensive end, side of the circle. Ford will go around the dasher with it with 3:51 left to play. There's a check on Dobles. Out towards center they go with it. Athens will flip way high in the air and it goes in behind Babic. Bounces off the back of the net, lays flat now. And they look to find it in the corner. Good behind the back pass there from White to Farmer. Farmer to Kramer. Kramer shooting one, save made. And it's in behind the goal line. That's where they look to find it. William Lavier has been good tonight in net for Athens. Back down the ice. Here's Zach White, has his head up and will flip it along. Just out of the reach, though, of Gus Ford. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in our third period with the Thunderbirds down by 4 goals here on the road. Found by Sergei Sherbakov. Rips it across. High in the air they go. Bounces through the neutral zone. Progress is stopped towards the opposite blue line, and Athens looks to charge back on side here late in the game. We're in the final 3 minutes. As number 3, Cade Hanley will play it for Twin City behind the net. They look to go out in front now as Athens is back to it. They fire one through traffic, and it goes into the corner. Behind the goal, Sherbakov, they give it away, rolling free, found, and White will get to it at center. Here goes Zach White, lost the handle of it, and then he tried to jump around the big defender there and that was, drew some noise from the crowd as he tried to spin away and up and over, perhaps, Jack Johansson, who's 6'2", 201. Zach White at 5'7", 150. So this will go hopping over the red line. 2:04 now to play in this Culver's third period. Thanks everyone for tuning in as always. Really appreciate it. Not going to be the result we were hoping for tonight, but the beauty of it is we get to come back and do it again next weekend. Twin City will fall to 1-3, and as I mentioned earlier, Athens will improve to 4-0. This will be the first loss on the road for the Thunderbirds. And from center comes Dion Demke. Flips it ahead. Goes down behind the goal line. And looks to get it back. Athens will win here in the home opener. As we only have 1 minute and 21 seconds left now. They go in front of the net. Don Carter Jr. able to stop the advance. And Matt Garcia will find it down the ice for Athens. They pass out towards center, just along the red line. 65 seconds remaining in the hockey game. And it's found in the corner. Twin Cities to it. Here's Dion Demke. Perhaps one last push down the rink in this game. Demke lifts it onside. Now the fans begin to make some noise as they'll be treated to a win. Athens in from center. Here they go again. Farmer, good defensive effort there, but they'll call a penalty on that play. And that looked okay to me. They're going to call it a hold. As the skater trying to go around the outside of Farmer. And they do signal holding. I don't think Steve Harrison's pleased with that one. But it looks like it'll be the final Lobos penalty kill tonight for Twin City, with just 37.7 left to go in the Culver's third period. It's 6-2. Shots on goal, 33-24 in favor of Athens. And they'll win possession of the puck here on the power play. One-timer shot blocked by Sergei Sherbakov. Down the rink it goes as the Thunderbirds can now ice it without penalty as they're killing this penalty with under half a minute to play. And so this game will soon draw to a close. Still a few seconds left, 15. Thunderbirds want to clear it out. They'll have it back behind the net. And not out of the zone to clear. Athens steps up late here. In on goal, save made by Babick. Slap shot at the horn, and they put it in. They count it. Well, they took a couple of drives on the power play late in the game with the score at 6-2. And it looked like they were able to move that one over the line before the clocks hit 0. They are showing 0 now. As we get a look on the replay. And that was right as the light went on, and so you can really call it either way. They did point for the goal, but they still have 6-2. Again, it's either going to be 6-2 or another one behind Babick, but that's how this one will end regardless. Not what the Thunderbirds wanted. And they'll be frustrated as they leave Aikens Ford Arena this evening. I think the officials are looking at this just for scoring purposes. Let's see what they say about it. No goal. All right, so it's a 6-2 final tonight, as that one will not count. But the Rock Lobsters playing aggressive all the way to the final sound of the buzzer tonight. As they tried to put another one on the board there on the power play, they nearly had it. So it is a 6-2 final score. We will head right to our post-game show immediately as we will recap tonight's game. The Rock Lobsters circling the logo at center. The fans, hometown fans here like the effort. But it is a 6-2 final officially. The final penalty of the game, that was a holding minor to James Farmer at 1923. But here's what this one looked like tonight. There was the opening goal of the game, scored at 12:06 of the first period by Gleb Van Durken of Athens to make it 1-0. Then another one at 16:09 of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Michael Greco scores to make it 2-0. But then Gus Ford scoring at 16:30 to cut the lead down to 2-1. Shots on goal in the first period, 10-6 favoring Athens. So from that score of 2-1, we go to the second period. Only goal is at 5:30. Even strength scoring play from Kaysen Gallant, assisted by Jordan Rosenbaum and Joe Mack. So 3-1 there. Shots on goal in the second period. Athens 15, Twin City 7. Third period, though, we had a lot of offense and a lot to talk about, but there was the power play goal from Philip Virgili at 2:29. Then a answer from there, and again that power play goal to the power play goal from Gus Ford at 8:40 of the third period. So that one was at 8:40, and I mentioned the time, what a critical moment in the game that was, as that cut it down to 4-2. But it seemed just as quickly as the Thunderbirds were able to get on the board on the power play. About 4 minutes later, another one is scored from Athens, Garrett Milan at 12:58. Then a 14:23 time of the scoring play for Carter Shinkarik. And again, that was at 14:23. And that ends up being the final scoring play after the goal nearly went in there at the end, as they were still attacking heavily on the power play with a big lead late in the game, and that one doesn't count, and so it is a 6-2 final officially. Shots on goal in the third favored the Thunderbirds at 11-9, but overall it's a 34-24 shots on goal advantage for the Athens Rock Lobsters. Well, again, everyone, we're back here again next weekend, 7:05 on Friday night. That'll be the time of the next broadcast. Saturday also at 7:05. And then the Columbus River Dragons come to town, and that will be on November the 7th and November the 8th. We hope to see you there. Again, tickets are on sale now. You can get them online at WSFairgrounds.com, Ticketmaster.com. You can also go through the Thunderbirds website that will redirect you to those sites. You can also call the box office at 336-727-2236. And again, we hope to see you there. Follow the Thunderbirds on social media for more. So once again, second night in a row, we've had to say it, not the result we wanted. But I always appreciate everyone tuning in, everyone listening, and viewing online as well. So that'll do it for tonight's game. As we sign off here in the post-game show, Athens will celebrate this one. They will stay at the top of the division standings early on in the league. And we'll come back next weekend and look for wins 2 and 3 on the season for Twin City. But they dropped back-to-back games on the weekend, 5-1 last night at home to Blue Ridge, 6-2 here on the road. Thanks again, everyone. Kendall Grayson signing off from the post-game show here at Aikens Ford Arena. Again, the final score tonight, it's the Rock Lobsters 6 and the Thunderbirds 2. Good night from Athens.